What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I gotta have that Tiege pack. Tiege makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Tiege Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tiege Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a Dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Tiege Hanley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a Dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Tiege pack. Feel the Tiege, my friends. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. Let's get it popping. You see this view, and when I had this view, that means that we having technical difficulties. But we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. You know, this comes as a result of me always having a live stream from home, but that's just what happened with technology. What up? What up, friends and family? You came in right after the commercial. All right, what's up, Anike? Jazz Y, Trap and Slay. Can I get a general idea of how people feeling today? Can I get a general idea of how people feeling today? I got a feeling that it's gonna be one of them shows. I have this sneaking suspicion that it's going to be one of those shows. I don't know why. I have no clue. But for whatever reason, I have this thing that I think that it's going to be one of those shows. They said, good morning. Thank you, Ari, for asking me how I'm doing this morning. I feel incredible. I feel incredible. I see y'all say blessed and energized, motivated, focused on getting to the bag, excited. All G now like a Dusty. Got to get that Tiege pack, back on my grind, smooth sailing, sleepy, focused, ready for the show, high, hopeful. On purpose, excited, marvelous, getting paid. It's raining, but you still grinding. Improve. Shout out to Mr. Lot. Ash says he chilling, successful, blessed, patient, fantastic, distinguished. Hey, Bitcoin Brown, did you get that wire yesterday? I just want to know. Celebrating. Shout out to Amparita. Bloody fantastic. Joyful. OG Rihanna say, hey, Anton, what's up, baby? What's up, Brittany B? Azriel. Fernando says working. AR Smitty said like $1,000,000 catching up. What up? Good morning. Energized, victorious, sick. And let's get a prayer up for Larry Walker. Tiege Bach just showed up. Shout out to Cartez Cookies. Ecstatic. Got a sweet tooth. On the road. Good morning, says Sunshine. What up, Sunshine? This your first morning show that you call live? What up to Woodcrest? Hey, can we get a round of applause to Woodcrest? Shout out to all of the people that's coming in here for the first time. You are in for a treat because I tell you, and I'm going Say it again. Bitcoin Brown said he 100% got the wire. They ready to cook. Okay. Because we do business with our people. Ebony MD Ford is the new girlfriend of Anton. Y'all a mess. Y'all are a mess. Y'all so messy. Y'all are so messy. Shout out to my people and everybody that tuned in to After Hours last night. Sister says she multitasking. Our Streets is in the building. Of course, Azriel, I seen you. Tam, what up? What up, Mika? What up, Mika? How was your trip? I heard your trip was awesome. Shout out to the Chasers. Hey, first and foremost, let me say this. If you're not a part of the Chasers, the link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. The Bag Chasers. You got to become a Patreon member if you're looking to rock out with a group of people that's going in the direction that you're going in. You on a Zoom call? All right, well, we here. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Also, Tiege Hanley is in the building. Make sure you get it for your friends and family. And yeah, man, we got a lot to cover today, but we going to get into the money. I have a sneaking suspicion, and we're going to dive a little bit into the money. We're going to dive into Fani Willis. We're going to dive into Tiffany Henyard. I heard she was hanging out on Roland Martin show. With all of the softball questions, I haven't checked it out yet, but we definitely going to get there. We got to get into living with your parents. There's a housing crisis that's happening in Florida that nobody wants to talk about. So we got to get to a lot today. Again, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I want to acknowledge my dog, Mike That Dude. Shout out to Mike That Dude. Trini Life, you said you want to get to the quick hits? All right, well then, you asked, and therefore you shall receive. Quick hits, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to it. Quick hits is a segment of the show that we don't necessarily think that we have to dedicate an entire segment to each individual subject, but we still want to keep you guys updated on what's going on out in these streets. You know what I'm saying? So first thing on quick hits is Atlanta. So if you from Atlanta, if you in Atlanta and you've been to Atlanta, then you are familiar with the Racetrac, okay? Shout out to Darren Moore. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. Downtown Atlanta, which, what's so funny about a lot of these cities is that people be thinking that they so special. Oh, man, people from Atlanta do this and that. They don't really do that. People from Houston do this and that. They really go over to the Galleria or this hidden spot. They don't really be over in the downtown area. People in Miami don't really go to Miami Beach. They just be over there and they don't really go to Wynwood no more either because it's being gentrified. People be thinking that they so cool that they be knowing exactly what be going on in their city, when I say that most people that are in cities don't even have a clue of what's happening in their cities. But if you've ever been to downtown Atlanta, then you've passed by the Racetrac, especially late at night. Now, late at night, the Racetrac can get a little bit racy. And here's the interesting thing about the Racetrac in downtown Atlanta. The Racetrac in downtown Atlanta is really, really unsuspecting for people that visit, because it's almost like one of the most centrally located gas stations or spaces that you can go in, do whatever it is that you do or whatever, so on and so forth, right? But interestingly enough, the Racetrac is calling it quits. The iconic Racetrac down in downtown Atlanta said, we can't take it no more. We can't keep hanging out over here. It's getting bad. Check it out.
Racetrac is pulling out of downtown Atlanta because a young man was shot and killed near the store over the weekend. That store near Georgia State University.
That area has been the scene of several shootings for more than a year. Fox 5's Christopher King joins us there live. And Christopher, what does this mean for other businesses in the area?
Well, Courtney, the pumps are dark. The store is closed. This Racetrac shut its doors at this location near Georgia State. Why? It's just gotten too dangerous. One council member says a big company leaving could have a ripple effect.
thank God.
LaVivica Martin says she used to work at this racetrack at Piedmont and John Wesley Dobbs.
I actually quit because I got threatened by somebody with a gun.
The junior at Georgia State University is glad Racetrac is closing up shop here. She says this location isn't safe.
Highly dangerous. Honestly, it's actually crazy.
Racetrac shut down this operation near the campus of Georgia State. This after Javier Shakir Fulford was shot and killed over the weekend. It's the fourth shooting in this area since late 2022.
Individuals are closing because they don't feel that they have the public safety support that they need.
Atlanta City Council member Keisha Waite says a big corporation like Racetrac leaving could take an economic toll on downtown Atlanta.
So it is a huge impact.
She worries other businesses could follow suit.
When you have one business that's negatively impacted, it has a domino effect all around town. Anytime you have a business or a corporation that leaves the city of Atlanta, this is a sad day, and it's not good for business as a whole.
A spokesman for Mayor Andre Dickens says, quote, nuisance properties across the city have a history of violent crime. The city will continue working with the appropriate stakeholders to ensure the safety of the community while a new responsible tenant is identified. We're live in downtown Atlanta. Christopher King, Fox 5 News.
All right, Christopher, thanks.
So, the Racetrac in downtown Atlanta, which is basically a large corporation, and it's been a staple in downtown Atlanta for quite some time. Every single time that I've ever visited Atlanta, I drive by it. The first time that I ever went to Atlanta or downtown Atlanta, I went to it, because it's just a gas station. Hey, I'm about to drive by this gas station, see what's happening, see what's popping or whatever. And I didn't realize that it was as bad as it was over there. But you quickly learn, soon as you go in there, oh, man, it's a different type of element in here. And it's a lot of homelessness around here. And this is happening and that is happening. But what's happening in a lot of these liberal cities is that people are starting to call it quits. People are starting to call it quits. And it's a collection of different things and different reasons why this stuff is happening, right? Number one, it's the culture and it's the people. Let's first remove the politicians out of the conversation, and let's say it's the culture and it's the people. It's the culture and it's the people. Because if the elements are bad and the people are bad and there's no focus on public safety and it's bad, then every single weekend it's always a robbery or it's a killing or somebody dies there or, hey, when you start to get the reputation where people say, hey, man, listen, you don't want to stop over there. You just want to keep going. It gets bad. It gets really, really bad. So that is basically what's happening over in Atlanta. And what they don't realize, because they think that it's so popular and that it's a lot of people that still want to be there and still there and all of that, they don't realize that it's a ripple effect. It's a slow roll, because without business and without tenants, and when things start to become a ghost town and without tax revenue, then that starts to impact your city coffers, which starts to impact your ability to even be able to hire police officers, which impacts your schools. It impacts the property taxes. It impacts the millages. It impacts the universities. It impacts everything. So that's what's really happening over there in downtown Atlanta. It's getting really, really bad over there. In addition to that, over in New York, the Bronx subway shooting suspects was arrested, because a lot of people may not feel familiar with it or be familiar with it, but there's more to the story than just that. Take a look.
Well, 3 people are in custody, wanted in connection to the murder of a man on a D train in the Bronx.
All right, it happened as the train was pulling into a station in the Fordham Heights section. Fox 5's Ashley Rodriguez joins us live from the scene. Ashley, this comes as crime is spiking on the subway.
Oh, absolutely. Subway crime has shot up by 45% last month alone. Now, the NYPD says they're down there. They're arresting the bad guys. It's the city's criminal justice system that keeps letting them go.
We have more cameras than a Las Vegas casino in this system.
The NYPD and MTA celebrating the arrest of 3 suspects they say shot 45-year-old William Alvarez on a D train in the Bronx. They say the suspects, 24-year-old Justin Hurday, 38-year-old Betty Condo, and 42-year-old Alfredo Trinidad were all clearly caught on cameras. Governor Hochul has vowed to install them on every train and platform, much to the appreciation of investigators.
Let me start by saying that January was a challenging month for us here in the Transit Bureau.
Crime was 45% higher this January compared to last year, with grand larceny being the main driver. Officers patrolling the trains recovered 17 guns in the last month. That's triple the amount last year. And they made more than 250 arrests for other weapons, a 44% increase.
We've got individuals roaming the subway with guns, with weapons. Our police officers are being assaulted.
So far this year, 7 MTA employees were assaulted. 4 people who have 50 prior arrests amongst themselves have been arrested.
50 strikes seems like a lot of strikes. And I have to say that, we've got to do something to keep our people safe.
In response, Mayor Adams and NYPD Commissioner Edward Caban are deploying upwards of 1,000 officers in the subway system every day since February. They say the surge is a similar strategy to how they reversed crime last year. But the implication is to really keep the subways safe, those in charge of sentencing recidivist criminals, the state's legislators, need to get rid of bail reform laws.
We're making arrests at or near historic highs. The question is, why are we arresting certain people 50 times?
But here's the real question that you have to ask yourself. Is this the thing that the people supported and voted for? And when you start to get down to the nitty gritty, you have to say, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Anton, what do you mean? Why would the people support offenders and crime happening on our subways? Let me remind you, and let me actually re-jog your memory. Isn't this the very thing that Meek Mill and Jay-Z stood for and funded as a form of reform, to make sure that the bail system allows for people to not have to hold or pay any kind of consequences as a result of committing crimes, because they wanted to make sure that the justice system was equal and fair across the board for black people and Hispanics and white people and all of that? Isn't this the very thing that we advocated for when Meek Mill went to jail and this became the big thing because we wanted to have identity politics? Isn't this the thing that y'all marched for when Black Lives Matter stood on behalf of y'all, and they said that, hey, we need to make sure that we reform the justice system? Now you have all of your officers, because let me throw Eric Adams a little bit of bail here, because I can't hold him accountable for this and say, well, it's Eric Adams' fault, because if they're deploying police officers and they're arresting the suspects every single day, but the crime continues to spike, but then you see a re-entry of the criminals continuing to do the same thing over and over again, then you have to start saying, well, if one part of the justice system doesn't work, because you can arrest the offenders, but if the offenders is easily able to get out and they're not held accountable, what difference do it make? What difference does it make if the people that's offending can just get out and offend, and they're not worried about the fact that they're going to have to go to jail for their crimes, or that they're going to be held on bail, and they know that they're going to be out tomorrow? If I know I'm going to be out tomorrow and I ain't got nothing that's preventing me from going out and doing the same thing that I did before, then there's nothing that's holding me accountable, and there's no consequences for my actions. What difference do it make? This is what y'all get for following rappers. This is what y'all get for following the Jay-Z's. Jay-Z don't even live in New York. Jay-Z don't even be in New York. The very ones that's funding and advocating for the very thing that's not best for you ain't even where you live. That's like me sitting here and saying, listen, I don't like what's going on in Detroit, but I ain't in Detroit. Every single person that's ever come up on this platform and tried to hold me accountable for me saying something about Chicago or New York, because I'm from there. But are you there? No, I ain't there. Why would I live there? So you don't have no vested interest in what's really going on in your communities. So you ran, you left. You left the thing that you advocated against. You left. You're not really a part of the fabric of that. You don't stand for that. And I'm not criticizing you, but you can't speak with a forked tongue. You can't be in two places at once. You can't sit there and not vote, but then get mad at the politicians that's making the laws and legislating on your behalf. You can't advocate for Black Lives Matters, buy their t-shirts, and enforce all of these companies to participate in diversity, equity, and inclusion and defunding the police, but then at the same time complain about crime. You can't have it both ways. So now it's difficult for me because then I hold the people accountable. Then at the same time, I got to say, well, it's y'all fault that they in there in the first place. It's y'all fault that the criminals is running the streets. It's your fault that they keep offending and then arresting the offenders 50 different times. How you going to have 50 different charges amongst 4 people? How you going to have 50 different charges, rap sheets as long as you can think amongst 4 people? And then I get on a live stream on Sunday and they're like, nah, man, listen, I'm all for the governor because he letting all of the criminals out. It's the reason why they in jail. It's the reason why they call criminals. So when you say it's a 43% spike, in crime, that's crazy. Year over year, 43%? And ain't nothing they could do about it because they got more. He said it. He said, we got more cameras than a Las Vegas casino down in that joint. We can identify the offenders. We can find the people. We can get them. But we know that we're going to be arresting these same people the next day. Y'all making it difficult for them to do their jobs. They already ain't even got enough police officers. I remember when New York used to be a place where, you used to look forward to, because that was a part of the experience, no? For out-of-towners, hey, man, listen, don't y'all want to ride the subway? See, that's normal for y'all. But for the visitors and the out-of-towners, they want to go and check out the subway. That's a part of the culture, right? Well, you might get robbed on a subway, and then they might be calling the Warriors. Come out and play. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's your quick hits. Let me read a couple of the super chats and then we're going to get it popping with the show. Shout out to Darren Moore. Darren Moore says, daughter woke me up at 5 a.m. Alarm went off at 6:15. Tried to go back to sleep for a little bit. Then the 7-year-old said he was sick. I said, it's time to get to the bag. Shout out to the Chasers. If y'all not a part of the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. You got a lot of kids, though, on the low. Amparita says, AD, thank you for being the gift that keeps on giving. Love to the Chasers. I'm trying to tell you, we're taking over everything. Power Washing Pro says, finally got that Tiege pack. Tiege Hanley, sponsor of the show. Link is in the description. Go ahead and get that Tiege. Plus the free gift. The free gift is real. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, Power Washing Pro. I appreciate you for supporting the platform. Also, I want to give a shout out to my dog, Latrell. Latrell says, Anton, did you hear about Maine giving free rent apartments to migrants for 2 years? Not if y'all didn't send it to me, I didn't. Send it to me. If y'all need to get in touch with me on a business perspective or send me anything, it's Anton Daniels, 413@gmail.com. That is the way in which you get in touch with me. I'm not going to repeat it. You could just rewind it and we're going to get to it. I see the likes is a little low, but we're going to get there. Shout out to all of my people on Facebook. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. I slept well last night. We did after hours, but I slept well last night. We got the Anton Daniels show on the Anton Daniels channel coming this evening, somewhere between 10 and 10:30 Eastern PM tonight. Make sure you tune in. We're going to get to it. Let's get to the show, y'all. So, somebody told me that Tiffany Henyard was on Roland Martin's show. So the first thing that I started thinking to myself is, well, is she on there to promote her new podcast? Is she on there to talk about the problems that's happening over in Dalton? Why isn't she over in Dalton? Did she take a sick day? Did she get an extra PTO day from the Thornton Township Supervisor's Office? Do y'all get PTO days? What's going on? Do politicians just get to do what they want to do when they want to do it? And why would she pick Roland Martin? Out of all people, why would she pick Roland Martin to go on? Now, anybody that's familiar with what Roland Martin's platform, which I don't really talk about Roland Martin ever, but Roland Martin is a staunch liberal. And when I say staunch, I mean staunch. This guy helps black people run in the Victim Olympics, yet doesn't hold anybody accountable so much to where it just becomes sickening. Absolutely sickening. But I didn't see this one coming. Not that it's not unexpected. Not that I'm necessarily surprised. But I didn't see this one coming. But I didn't see it. I'm going to find out what happened. As a matter of fact, we're going to find out what happened together. I will be reading super chats throughout the show. Thank you to everybody that continues to support the platform. What is this? What is this? Is this the cover photo that he used? Y'all ready to get into the show? All right, let me see. Let's see if we can fast forward it to the spots that actually matter.
Black Star Network. Sexual assault. Change your life.
All right, folks.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at the shirt that this guy's. And you know what the weird part about this before we get into it? That this guy actually has a real following. He actually have a real like he has a strong following. That tells me that we got more work to do. We got more work to do. This guy has a strong following. Let me see what's going on.
Welcome back to Roland Martin on Android phone, Apple TV, Android TV, Roku, Amazon Fire streaming channel. Go to Amazon Network on Prime Line, a small town in Chicago. Tiffany Henyard is the mayor of Dalton, Illinois.
He don't even know her name. He said Henyard. Tiffany Henyard. He don't even know her name. We know what the heck is going on, but he don't even know her name. Tiffany Henyard. What is Henyard?
Down in Chicago. Tiffany Henyard is the mayor of Dalton, Illinois. And there have been all sorts of stories written, folks talking about what she wears, talking about her conduct, allegations about spending, you name it. There's been lots of drama, if you will. She joins us right now. I'm glad to have you here in studio. And so first off, so there are a couple of things. You're the mayor of Dalton, and then also there's a township. So explain to folks the difference between those two and what your jobs are.
Sure. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you allowing me a platform to speak my truth. I'm the mayor of Dalton. I got elected in 2021, becoming the first female mayor of Dalton, and the youngest. And then I got appointed to supervisor a year later. So a mayor, we are all about services. So cut trees down, sidewalks, things of that nature. Supervisor is strictly resources. So help pay your light bill, gas bill, water bill. I even help bury your loved ones. I pay mortgage, I pay rent. It's a resource center. So
okay,
that's the difference.
So Dalton is a town about 20,000. How large is the township? The township covers what?
I cover 190,000 residents. Okay. I'm over 17 towns.
Okay, so yes. And for the township, are those elected positions or appointed positions?
Yes, it's.
STFU says, Anton, you hurt your chances to have her on your platform when her underlings come. Oh, I don't give a. This ain't after hours. Let me make sure that I censor my language. I don't care. I'm not complaining. Let's be clear. Like, I'm not complaining at all. At all. I hurt my chances. Don't worry about it. Listen, I'm a patient man. I'm not the type of person that's going to complain about it because he got her now. I'm going to get her when she in them county blues. See, they all come back around eventually. I'm a patient man. I'm a patient man. He got her now. I'm going to get her when she in the county blues because she going to need some money on them books. She going to need some money on them books. And guess what? They just using you. They don't even know your last name, baby. Don't worry about it. I'm going to put some money on your books. I got you. And I got a job waiting for you when you get out of jail. We'll get there. We'll get there. I'm a patient man. All right?
Elected. My predecessor passed away, and I was appointed to his seat, therefore taking the rest of his term.
Okay. And for the different jobs, so Dalton pays you what as mayor, township pays you what?
Sure. So my mayor position is $50,000, which was already there. And my township position is 224, which was already there. When I got sworn into either seat, it came with the salary, which everybody prior to me received.
Now, are both of those deemed full-time jobs?
Well, no, part-time.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so let's first deal with Dalton. So
Sure.
Your critics say that you have a significant.
So both of those jobs is part-time? Both of those jobs, the Thornton Township supervisor is a part-time job? Kicking it with a chef. I didn't say what position that I was hiring for. I didn't know that those positions was part-time jobs, making full-time money, but it's part-time jobs? Wow, that's impressive. All right, so let's just listen. We want to understand what's going on. This might be a little bit longer of a show.
Your security detail. First of all, how large is your police department in Dalton, and what is your security detail?
So we have about 45 officers in our village. My security is warranted due to the fact of threats and things of that nature, but what people are not stating is it's in our CBA. That's our collective bargaining agreement. That's our union contract. So it comes with the seat. That's what people are not saying. I didn't make this up. I didn't just create this and say.
She a sassy one. She a sassy one. Ma'am, you do not need security. Ain't nobody checking for you.
I want security.
How many officers is it?
How many officers is what?
On security detail.
I'm not gonna say how many due to the threats on my life. So,
but if it's in your CBA.
It is in my CBA. I'm not doing anything wrong. I even went to court due to the fact of people suing me saying I cannot have a security detail, and I won. The judge said I can't have a security detail because it's already in a CBA.
Okay, and so that's one of the issues there. You have other trustees who suggested that the city is in a deficit. What is the state of the city's finances?
So we are in a deficit, but it's not what everybody's claiming it to be. They're going around with false allegations of $5 million, $7 million, $8 million. It's all false. Our deficit is $2 million.
$2 million.
$2 million.
And what's your annual budget?
Our annual budget is $30 million.
$3 million? $30 million.
Yep.
And so what led to that deficit?
So it comes from them not paying bills. So say, for instance, we have a board meeting and they say, well, we're going to pull this out, pull that out. If they continue to pull bills out, later on, what do you have? A deficit, because the bill.
I'm sorry. That's not what a deficit is. Are y'all familiar? Listen, basic money 101. Everybody should be qualified for these positions. From now on, nobody should be able to get these positions based off of popularity. We should be hiring the proper people. A deficit is not as a result of not paying bills. A deficit is literally, by definition, I have more expenses than I have income coming in. So that's what creates a deficit. I'm sorry. Let me just be very, very clear. I can see why she would prefer to go to Roland and come to Anton. A deficit is when you have more going out than you have coming in. Okay? All right? I just want to make sure that we all on the same boat right now. The deficit is not because you're not paying bills. Not paying bills means that you weren't authorized to do some of the spending that you were doing, and so we're withholding funds for that particular expense because we can't justify that it was actually a real expense that the city incurred, but it was your lifestyle that you wanted to live. That's what that's what not paying a certain bill is. That means that you're responsible for your first class ticket, not us, because you wanted to go and party. We didn't say that, all right? So that's what a deficit is. I just want to be clear before we continue with this. This might be a longer show than I thought.
Still do. Just like us not paying our mortgage or not paying our light bill. We still owe the money at the end of the month.
When you say they, who's they?
The trustees, the board. Because the board is the one that votes to pay the bills.
So so you have two types of government out there. You got strong mayor, city council, then you have...
Why Roland ain't actually calling it for what it is? Because I know he's smarter than this. I may not agree with what Roland stand on, but I know he's smarter than this. He's not confused. I'm not confused, so how can he be confused?
City manager form of government. So mayor and the trustees control the city's finances.
Well, yes, when it comes to the budget, just the budget.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So in terms of who's deciding to pay the bills, so this deficit that you have, you're saying that's a result of the trustees not paying the city's bills?
Correct.
But do you have the resources?
Yes.
To pay the bills?
Yes.
So how's there a deficit?
Because they won't pay the bills. So it's still on our books. Until we release the check and pay the bill, we still count it as a deficit.
So you're saying, so you have the money to pay the bills.
Correct.
You're saying your fellow trustees won't pay the bills.
Correct. I'll give you prime example, just to make me look bad. I'll give you prime example. My job is to govern. That's what a mayor does. I'm an executive branch, they're the legislative branch. When I go get money and bring back to our community many grants, they refuse to pay things for residents. I created a roof and window program. They would not vote to pay the vendors to fix the roof and windows for our seniors and our veterans. Why? The money's there, it's in a bank account, you can see it. Why would they not pay the bill? So therefore, that program got on hold. These are things I created when I became the mayor of Dalton. But yet, people don't see your vision. It's people trying to take over government, and I won't allow it. They didn't do it prior to the other mayor having it. Why did nobody do any of the things they doing to me?
Trustees, city council people, aldermen, they're all there for checks and balances. They're all there for checks and balances. You can't run it like a dictatorship. You don't get to say, okay, this is what we're going to do, and that's the end of the conversation. The reason why you have these community meetings is to vet through some of the ideas, to come up with a budget, to stick with that budget, not for you to do whatever it is that you want to do and then say, hey, I want y'all to approve this. That's not how it works. In no institution, in no private entity, in no place, in no publicly traded company, in no government do they have a complete dictatorship of what happens. You have checks and balances. That's why you have a board. That's why you have city council people. That's why you have people. That's why you have House of Representatives. That's why you have Congress. That's why the president can't just do whatever it is that he want to do. He has to negotiate, and that's why we vote on different people to represent us within a government body, because they can go over there and they can look and they can say, wait a minute, you over there buying cheesecake and y'all having a good time? Y'all over here taking first-class trips? It don't matter if you think that the money is there. The money is not allocated for that, and you can't just use it for what you want to use it for. So she's conflating. Nobody just came up against her.
So when all of this began, this not paying of the city's bills?
And you know the funniest part about it is if you talk to any of the trustees, you talk to the Jason Houses, you talk to her former chief of staff, Dr. Nikita Cloud, they'll tell you they advocated for her. They wanted for her to win. They were behind her. They pushed her. They actually wanted her to do the right thing. And then when she got drunk off power, it turned.
Funny you asked that question. That's a great question. All this turmoil started right when I became mayor. So that showed me right then and there that the plot was to remove me from office. Right in the beginning, I wasn't even in office for a good month before my board started to sit here and start to try to remove me from my seat that I earned and won by 82%, remind you, 82%, taking out an incumbent that had the seat prior to me.
So when your fellow trustees, let's say Kiana Belcher, she's quoted as saying mismanagement.
She would never stand in front of me.
You're
Ever.
saying, no, it's not mismanagement. They're just not paying bills.
That's correct.
And so when you hear that from her, then what's the response? And if that's the case, have you released publicly the list of bills that they don't pay?
Yes.
And where's that?
So that is normally on my website, or it is on my social media platform. And I verbally said at board meetings, you can see it when they go and they take out bills, they verbally tell you what they're taking out. Therefore, people can just add it up.
In the council meeting?
In the council meeting. So you can know and you can follow exactly what bills they're not paying. And it adds up. Eventually you get to $1 million, then $2 million. And then also they have legal bills of $2 million of suing me for different reasons, like what they're saying to you.
Who sued you?
The trustees. The trustees. They take me to court for anything they say, right? Then we go to court and I won. I won over 24 cases. Yesterday I just got word I won another case. So I'm 25-0. So how is it possible?
25-0. I'm 25-0. 25-0. This is y'all mayor. This is y'all representation. I'm 25-0. That's what she says. Jesus Christ.
The mayor of Dalton. People got to pause and think like, dang, she keep winning. If she keep winning, we got to look at the trustees. They're the ones that's spending the money on legal bills. Their attorney, which is legislative counsel. No, for what?
So you're saying that the trustees are not paying bills.
Correct.
In addition,
I hope he asked her about shutting down the businesses. I'm curious about that.
Suing you, they're now piling up legal bills, and that is what's also contributing to the deficit of the state.
That's correct. And then we also had contracts that was needed to be negotiated when I came in office for police, for fire, and for public works. So once we negotiate some of those contracts, of course that adds to the deficit because now you got to increase people's pay.
No, that adds to the budget, ma'am. The budget is approved. You have to stay within the budget. You can't say that it's a deficit unless there's less coming in than is going out. It's very basic math, y'all.
You got retro pay, you got all kinds of things that take into account. But what they're not telling you is what I'm telling you here. People got to state facts so people understand. Right now, just to throw this out there, throw that out there, and no facts to back it up.
What I'm trying to understand is this is not a large city. Mm-hmm. Okay, I spent 6 years in Chicago, and so whether you're talking about Dalton, Harvey, we're not talking about large cities.
Right.
There's a whole lot of drama for a town of 20,000 people.
I agree. But it's led by one person.
Who?
Their legislative council. He wanted to take me out of my seat.
Who is that?
Ooh, she's saying Jason House. She coming for you, Jiggy Jason.
That is Bert Oderson.
Oh, Bert. Shout out to Bert. Big Bert. Bert Oderson. Shout out to Bert Oderson.
So you think all of this is because he wants to beat you?
Yes, he wants the position of corporate counsel.
Explain that.
Corporate counsel is the one that run the day-to-day for a village. They're the one that sit next to the mayor at the board meetings, and they basically have all the lawsuits.
Shout out
so
to
anybody
Bert.
that sues our village, he will be the person that go and defend it. So
Bert
it's all
Oderson.
about contract. It's all about a power grab. That's all it is.
Ain't nobody checking for you, Otis.
No. He's the trustees' legislative council. So they use him to fight against me. So I'll give you another example. They just had a secret squirrel meeting. What I mean by secret squirrel meeting, an illegal meeting they had at our park district. When they had our park district,
Let me say it's a legal meeting. Why are you calling it a legal meeting?
Because they cannot go and have a quorum. That's the open meeting violation of 4 people. They do that every time.
What about the meetings that you lock the residents out of? Is that legal? I'm just curious. Is this a... See, I'm wondering if Roland is as familiar with this as maybe somebody like me or O'Shea or Hannibal or any of these people. I'm just wondering if Roland is as familiar with what's going on in Dalton, if he's been following this as much as we have. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
So now they're trying to have their own separate government. When we have board meetings, it's the first of every month.
Yeah,
first Monday.
First of all, official board meetings have to be posted.
Correct.
Have you filed any complaints with the state attorney general?
Yes.
Saying they are meeting illegally?
Yes, so we working on that, meaning we posted it and we filed it. So now we're just waiting on a response for that. So once we get the response, we will share with the public. But you can't sit here and have your own separate government. We either gonna get along or we're not. But we're not gonna get along. You wait till election time, and therefore you run against me. That's how this go. But yet you put all this negativity
I hope he
in our
asked her
village,
about
putting everybody
reducing
in
the
danger,
amount of
and I
money
don't appreciate
that the supervisor
When you say
makes.
putting everyone in danger, how so?
Like you have people that come out from New York, people that come from all over and fly into our town just to get stories and follow us around. And then they go in our village halls, harass our residents, harass our staff. So it's become more than what people are seeing.
So you're saying, because of the attacks on you,
Anton coming.
You had stories in the New York Post, Fox News, other places, and you're saying all of that has contributed to these attacks directly on you and residents.
Correct.
You've been, talk about the threats that you've had to deal with.
Oh, wow. Tons of threats. It's in email, it's in text form, it's on voicemail. People come to our village and threaten us. People have been arrested for coming and threatening us. It's all types of things it's a record of.
By your police force?
Why we need security. And it's sad because people got to understand, I am a single black parent with a daughter, 4-year-old, that go in and out of my house. You got people pulling up, taking pictures. You even got that trustee, that Kiana Belcher, came to my house, took pictures of my house, and then spread it out, gave it to everybody, causing me and my family to be in much danger. And these are the things we reported, we talk about, we tell people. It's just a vindictive against me, and I don't appreciate it at all.
Vindictive against you. Gotcha.
When you look at how you're being framed. You are being
Ask her
called
about
crazy, deranged,
the position.
saying that you are
reducing it to
$25,000. You also you have a charity that from the Attorney General's office. I understand they sent a cease and desist letter to your foundation.
I don't know nothing about that. I'm not.
I don't know. Listen, she real thorough with her answers when she feel like everybody is against her. I'm 25-0. I'm 25. Now all of a sudden, look, I don't know nothing about that. I'm confused about my own charity that got a cease and desist. So we know about it. Everybody, the news know about it. Every single vlogger knows about it. But all of a sudden, she confused all of
The cease and desist letter to your foundation?
I don't know nothing about that. I'm not crazy. I'm not
You have
deranged.
Tiffany Henyard Cares, your foundation. So the Attorney General's office hasn't reached out to you regarding your foundation?
So I want to set the record straight. I don't have a foundation. I am a supporter of anybody that's struggling with cancer. My mom had breast cancer, and I'm always push anybody that has that. If someone uses my name to push their charity, or if you say this is Tiffany t-shirt, people gonna buy it. Because right now I'm considered what? Clickbait. People make money off of my name by views. So you just say my name.
You say you don't have a foundation.
I do not. And that's
Okay.
why I tell everybody, go do your research. I'm not on anything.
So
your name not on it.
We see all of this back and forth.
But somebody created a foundation in your name in order to get clicks and views. Come on, man. Listen. Oh my gosh. Jesus Christ. This is insane. I can't believe we even going down here. This is crazy.
When we see this is going back and forth, have you
maybe she the tough, maybe she is Nino Brown. Maybe she is Nino Brown. Maybe she is the Wesley Snipes of the Carter.
I've seen this happen before with city councils. Have you called in the state to come mediate?
Did I call in the state?
Have you reached out to the state to come in and mediate what's going on here? So I've seen school boards where you have lots of drama, and Texas Education Agency, comes in and deals with that. You're having these issues there. Have you reached out to state lawmakers? Have you reached out to state representatives, senators to say, hey, how can we resolve these issues? Because if they're not paying bills, if legal fees are piling up, that's just more taxpayer money being spent.
Correct. And yes, we have. So maybe 2 people might have reached out to us in the beginning. We was doing kumbaya. We was having meetings, and we was talking about what we have an issue with one another. The sad thing is, it just reminds me of high school. It's just a he say, she say thing. Well, I don't like you because of this, or I don't understand this. It was more of that than basically taking care of the business of the town. We got elected to serve. That's it. We didn't get elected to make sure we like one another. And that's why I get upset with people that are in government. I want them to put their difference to the side and do what's right for the people. That's it. That's why I'm in this seat, because I care about my town. I won by 82% because people know and they saw me doing the work.
So so let's talk about, because
you don't want to offend them.
Read different stories and I'm trying to understand what they mean. So let's talk about a meeting. Your critics say you came dressed up as Nino Brown playing Bitch Better Have My Money. Did that happen?
Oh, wow. Okay, so let me clear that up so we can understand. I did not come as Nino Brown. I did a scene from Martin. One thing I am, I'm young, so I try to make sure I reach my young voters.
You did a scene from Martin. Where? Was it said Dalton or Thornton Township?
This is Dalton. This is all of the village, really.
Okay, got it.
All the smoke and the heat coming from my mayoral seat, but they mixed the two because people don't understand the difference between the two. But I did come as a scene from Martin. I even made fun about it and did a skit and posted it on my TikTok just to show people my sense of humor side. Because at the end of the day, you got to meet the voters where they are. You got to meet the youth where they are. And that it did work. People pay attention to the meetings. They come in, they check out and see what's going on. And just give you a little more clarity of it. We had an election. And I was being funny about it. Somebody knows something, meaning somebody knew where the votes went. During the election, the night of the election, we won, meaning one of our candidates. And then come like a week or 2 later, all of a sudden the votes disappeared. So somebody took all the votes through mail-in ballots. So I went in and I was like, somebody knows something. That's all it was. And it was before my meeting, not during my meeting. And you can watch it, you'll see it was before. Everybody laughing, even the people that's into it with me. Everybody laughed, because that's all it was. It was just a sense of humor, and they took it and flipped it into this big thing that you see.
So if that's the case, then are you looking at making adjustments in terms of how you operate, how you govern, because they're criticizing that. They're criticizing you putting up billboards. I mean, literally, they're criticizing attire, you name it.
Yeah. So it's sad to see that, because you would think somebody will reach out and say, hey, Mayor, I want to work with you. Let's sit down and talk and go over things that I think you should improve or change. A lot of people just upset because I am a trendsetter. I am a trailblazer. I am showing people what they should have done with the seats, with an S, before I took over. And as you know, I want to do the work. So I ask the lawyers what I can and what I cannot do. And when they tell me what I can do, I go and I execute. There's nothing wrong with billboards, because they are what? Providing service. If it was something so wrong with billboards, people wouldn't have cut our phone lines. I'll give you an example of other things we're dealing with. They cut our phone lines over at my supervisor position, because that's what we put the billboards up. It's talking about service. Talking about
they cut our phone lines. Who's that?
They cut our phone lines. It was the college, South Suburban College.
Okay.
And they went ahead and service in over 30 years, never been cut. But the minute I put up a billboard, the line get cut. So now when people call the phone number, how do you get services? So now you get people complaining, saying the number don't work, you got all these issues, things like that. But these are the things I'm dealing with that people don't know.
No, okay. So listen, you are 100% right, Molly. Molly, you are 100% right. Using billboards to promote yourself under the guise that you're actually trying to provide service for people is classic narcissistic behavior. And it's something that people are calling her out on. And if the city is operating in a deficit, then how do you justify using taxpayer dollars to line the entire highway with billboards of you, and then have a little number at the bottom of it saying, but I care. Tiffany cares. It's not about Thornton Township. It's not about the mayor's office. It's not about the city itself. It's about promoting you under the guise that it's actually justified as, we care for you, so we gonna offer you a service. Come on, man. Like, and I guess the worst part about this is that it's almost like she talking to us like we dumb. She talking to us like we don't know what's going on. Like we confused about what you really doing. We know what you really doing. Ain't nobody dumb. Ain't nobody confused. Ain't nobody trying to figure it out. We ain't trying to understand. Oh, man, I didn't know that. So it is a number on there that I can call in order to get my rent paid.
Public don't see, and you don't never hear me talk about it. I just go through the motions and just deal with it. But it actually has been working. All our numbers are up by 3-4 times in every department, especially the food department.
Which our numbers are up. What numbers?
The numbers. So for instance, I'll give you an example. So our food pantry, we used to feed maybe 100, 150 people a day. We now feed 500 people a day. So when people talk, they should go research the numbers of back then and then research my numbers and compare. I'm putting that together just so I can show the public, because now it's all about showing people that everybody been lying this entire time doing a smear campaign. So now I'm going to show them, and then now you judge. Because y'all all judging, meaning people out there are judging off of hearsay, false allegations, and not facts.
Allegations?
Get facts
not
first,
allegations.
then make your judgment.
Take me through what took place with the change in pay for the Thornton position.
Thank you, Roland.
What your critics say is you led an effort to cut the salary if you don't get reelected, but the salary stays the same if you are reelected.
And see, that's again what I mean by research and what I say the media and everybody doing this.
He's asking you directly, man.
It's an ordinance already on the books. They didn't tell you that, right?
No, what's the ordinance?
The ordinance is on the books. My predecessor, he created that ordinance, and it's already there. That if he was to run or not run, that the salary drops. It's already there.
Okay, so you're saying...
So how come it didn't drop when you got it? This woman is, it angers me when people try to insult my intelligence. See, it's one thing to just like finesse. It's another thing to lie to me to my face.
Prior to you coming there, that was that his decision or was that the Thornton Township trustees' decision?
Well, it's them as a group because they have to vote on it. It's
right.
Ordinance form, so yes, it was everybody's decision.
So you're saying that predated you?
Yes, and it's there. I have the proof for it. Yes.
Okay, so the salary is currently what?
For myself, $224.
So when there's the next election, then if the current supervisor is not reelected, then it drops to what?
25.
Jesus Christ.
Do you know what the rationale was for that?
Well, it was, like I just stated, it was already on the books. But no
What
one
was
did
the rationale,
research.
ma'am?
They went and did this whole story of, hey, Tiffany did XYZ. Now, don't get me wrong. We did cut the prior salary was $50K.
So, I'm sorry, cut what?
$50,000. The ordinance that I'm talking about.
Right.
It was $50,000 that they created. Now, we cut it in half. We did do that because everybody said we make too much money. So we did do that.
Okay, but it was cut from what, 224 to 50?
No.
What I'm trying to say, what was 50?
The ordinance that they created.
Okay.
Meaning the previous person before me. That's what they created before me. So it was $50,000. So no matter what or who ran against that person, it was already dropping to those numbers.
It was dropping from
whatever their salary was, which is the 224
to
$50,000.
Okay, and then when you came in,
I dropped it to $25,000. All I did was cut the
50 to 25
in half.
And why was that?
Because everyone said the salary was too high. So all I did. It was just reduce it by half. That's it. But do you understand what I'm saying? It was already on the books. It was never going to stay to something, ever. It was always going to drop down.
And you're saying that predated you?
It does, yes. We have the ordinance. If you like the ordinance, we can give it to you.
What is your relationship with the township?
Did he just let her skate on that? That was it? He just let her skate on that. So she's still going to be, okay, so how come it didn't drop when she took the position? And then why is she cutting it? Because, okay, well, let's just be real. She's doing it in order to try to remove the incentive from anybody running against her so that she can maintain the position inside of the township. She wants to remove the incentive for anybody to run against her and challenge her and put up a meaningful fight to elect themselves, and that because they don't see it as worth it for them to then ultimately get the position. And why did the person that did it before them? Because they tried to do the same thing. But she then used it again, and she cut it from 50 to 25, even though she never had to take a pay cut. She just automatically inherited whatever it was that she was making from the previous predecessor. Come on, man. Because if he was on there with Tucker Carlson, or if he was on there with Patrick Bet-David, he'd be going hard in the paint. Hard in the paint. But all of a sudden, everything is softball. Oh, really? Oh, from 50 to 25.
Trustees, because again, there are two different entities here.
Correct.
How many trustees are you dealing with the city of Dalton?
6.
6. How many are you dealing with Thornton Township?
4.
Okay. So, do you have issues with the Thornton Township?
Actually, I don't. It might be one person that might not want to agree with things there, but everybody else is on board. I have no issue like I do in Dalton.
So what you're saying, most of all this drama is really happening with the city of Dalton.
Correct.
The trustees on Thursday voted for a resolution asking the FBI to investigate.
I can't believe
this
guy just let that go.
Do you support that to help clear you, or do you believe their action was wrong?
So, as I stated, and I made a statement for the news, there is no subpoenas in my office and no one that we know of regarding the investigation. So
right now, what I'm saying is they passed a resolution calling for a federal investigation. And so what I'm asking is, are you saying, hey, if I did nothing wrong, fine, y'all come and investigate, or do you believe the action of these trustees was improper?
I think they should investigate everybody. And that way you see who is clear, period.
What?
And I will talk to this more at my board meeting on Monday. Because if you're going to do one, do everybody.
Well, first of all, if the federal authorities, I mean, I know how federal investigations work. Once they come in, they don't look at one person. They actually examine everything.
Yeah.
All right. Hold tight 1 second. I'm going to go to a break. We'll come back. Some additional questions. This is from CBS affiliate there. Says that the accusation comes at the same time the Illinois Attorney General's office told Henyard's charity multiple times in recent months to stop improperly soliciting donations because it had not registered with the state as required by law. And you said that's not your charity.
Correct.
Okay. So were you ever? So show the video here. 'Cause I'm trying to understand this here. So this is a video of you marching with the charity. So what is this?
Yeah, it's not your charity. They just using it in order to get clicks. But you sitting here marching and saying that Tiffany cares and this is my charity. Okay, let's continue.
So what they're not telling you is we literally walked to Springfield to create a bill to help anybody that suffered from cancer, whether it's the village of Dalton, Thornton Township, and then I increased it to the state of Illinois. And that bill will help people by giving them $10,000. And that's a bill that we actually are initiating, and we're still working on it. When I went through the Republican states, the Republican areas, we didn't have any issue. Everybody was on board because everybody is suffering from cancer or knows someone that passed or is actually going through it. So that was the whole purpose of the walk, to basically bring awareness and bring people together. That's what the whole purpose of it is.
But if you had, so there were folks with signs saying Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. Who was that?
What do you mean? It's everybody. Everybody was there.
No. What I'm saying is, what is the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation? You said it's not affiliated with you at all.
Correct.
Well, what is it?
So someone made up a foundation. They named it after me, and they like my work that I do in the community, and it's called Tiffany Henyard Cares. So we all went.
Now, but they weren't registered. Have you contacted them and told them you can't use my name improperly?
Well, my lawyer's handling a lot of that stuff, so all I can tell you is that I'm not the one on anything. That's the only thing I can tell you right now. So I'm just trying to answer to the.
So you're saying there's a foundation that's not registered, but it has nothing to do with you?
Correct. That's true.
Okay.
That's
so
true.
you're not aware of any of the work that they've done, money that they've raised, anything along those lines?
Correct.
Okay. Again, going back to your trustees, they have talked about travel. So let's speak about that. When you're traveling, are you traveling on behalf of the city of Dalton or Thornton Township?
It depends. It depends on what it is. So if I'm going to Recon, Recon is a big platform for economic development where people go from all over. It's the largest in the nation, and everybody go to basically promote their plot of land. So you want to bring Starbucks to town. You want to bring, for instance, Maswell's a trauma center. So things like that is what we go for. And then our job is to bring those things back, work on a plan. It might not happen this year. It might happen 2 years out plan. And that's what people don't understand. They think it should happen right now. You went to this conference. What did you do? Right now, you could be working on a deal, and come the next term, the next mayor or the next trustee or whoever will benefit from it. That's how it works.
Do you have policies in your city as it relates to travel, as it relates to flying first class, what types of hotels to stay in to minimize expenses for the city?
Well, we have a budget. So as long as it's in the budget, you can basically go to any conference. Any conference you choose.
No, I understand the budget, but so for instance, I've covered City Hall, covered county government, where they establish, where they say, like for instance, City of New Orleans has a policy that city officials don't fly first class.
Okay.
Do you have that?
We do not.
Do you believe you should have a policy? Because again, the critics are that you're flying first class, that you're staying in four-season hotels, high-dollar hotels, having what they call extravagant dinners.
I'm gonna read y'all super chat shortly.
Those are your critics. Are you as a city official, in order to make sure that you'll be on reproach, looking at establishing a city policy in terms of how money is spent when traveling?
This is the way I feel about it. People will talk about anybody because they're not doing the work. They only talk about the people that's at the top, the ones that are doing the work. They telling you about travel. I'm in your studio right now talking about travel. What we should be talking about is the $15 million I brought back to my community.
Ma'am, can you please answer the question? We're not going to gaslight here. We're not going to sit here and go back and forth. He asked you a direct question. Should there be a limit on how much you can and what you can spend on traveling? We don't want to hear nothing about how you fronting, talking about you brought $15 million back. We want to know travel, first class, top hotels, not coming out of your pocket, taxpayer dollars.
I understand that.
No, I know, but I'm pointing it out. But we arguing over travel.
No. But the reality is, this is a conversation that members of Congress have to deal with. That mayors, city council members, county commissioners.
Yeah.
As I said, I've covered Fort Worth City Council, Travis County Commissioners Court. Have covered City Council in Dallas, and this is one of the things that people often look to. They look at in terms of public officials. Being
living on a high life on the behalf of the taxpayers.
And one of the areas, this happened with Kwame Kilpatrick when he was mayor of Detroit. He was highly criticized for the use of the city's credit card and how he was traveling. And so what I'm saying is, if you have those critics, we're not talking about a large city. We're not talking about a massive budget. And so do you believe it's proper to have a city standard that applies to you and all trustees and city employees that says, sure, you can fly, but you fly economy, not first class. And then if you stay in hotels, you don't necessarily stay in Four Seasons or a hotel like that.
Or the Ritz.
Or Hyatt, Marriott, or whatever. And so because of the criticism, do you believe in creating that type of travel policy?
I sure do.
And will you do that?
Yes.
Okay. One of the things that also, going back to your critics of your trustees, they're alleging financial improprieties. When it comes to documents, they say that you won't turn documents over. When it comes to your city's budget, how is that handled? Is there a city treasurer? Is there a city auditor? Normal operations in the city, there are people who handle those different things. And so when you're a trustee, they can make those requests and those documents are produced. How does it work in Dolton?
Exactly what you just said. Every document we produce, every statement we give them. They sued us. That's another lawsuit they sued us for. And guess what? We won. Because that's why I'm trying to explain to everybody. They just saying stuff. There's no facts to it. We go to court. We prove to the courts that we're doing our job, which is providing them with documentation. Once we give the documentation, guess what? We win our lawsuit. And we've been giving it to them through email. It's in everybody's email.
I'm familiar, Rod Jones. I'm going to get there.
I've showed that at board meetings, and I've showed people that, hey, they said they didn't get it. They get it every single month. All the documents.
But for the people who don't know, explain the process, though.
Okay.
You got a mayor, you got trustees.
Right.
Who are the city employees who that's their job? So do you have a city treasurer?
We have a finance director. We have a CPA, which is our accountants. Yes, and we have auditors. We have all that.
So the finance director should have the financial records for all transactions with the city.
Yes, and she gave them to him. That's my point. Through email. And we showed that. We proved it in court. Once again, we won in court. We won. They said that, but then we showed y'all that they was lying by producing an email showing we gave them every document they needed. But they go and they put on this show for the world and then want to sit here and criticize people by saying she's doing wrong. I'm not doing wrong. I'm proving it every single time I win a court case. Again, 25-0. They ain't won not one
25-0.
case.
Got you.
But they keep saying, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. That's not true. Because we go to court for everything they claim I'm doing. But every time we go to court, I win. If I'm doing wrong, why am I steady winning? That can't be true. That's the narrative they put out. I have two powerful seats. One, I'm the mayor. The other, I'm the supervisor. I am over 190,000 votes, whether people like it or not. That can sway an election, no matter what people say. I am an influencer. They only go out to people that can influence people's minds. And right now I have the youth. I got everybody that loves Tiffany Henyard because I've been doing it since day one.
She talking about herself in third person?
Two terms. And I came out of every election victorious. Every election. So now, because they can't beat me, they got to do this smear campaign to convince public opinion that I'm bad for them.
So you said two elections. You were first elected in 2021?
No, 2013 was my first election for trustee. I was a trustee. I sat where they are.
Right.
That's why I know the law.
Council.
Yes.
Elected mayor 2021.
Yes.
Term is 4 years?
Yes.
Okay. Plans of running for re-election?
I'm running for both my seats. And I'm going to win them.
So and when is the election for Thornton Township?
2025.
So those elections at the same time?
They are.
And folks who don't know, the township covers how many different?
17 cities.
17 cities
which
in
is
the
governed by all men, which I am over.
Ooh, she said, this is the gauntlet. I am throwing the gauntlet down. And she says, I'm going to win. I tell you what. I like that challenge. And I'm always up for a money fight. Who running against her? I need to know who running against her. Somebody get Nikita on the phone so I can understand what's going on. So I can know who I need to throw my money behind. I'm a create my own Dalton City Super PAC, and we gonna fund the next person that actually should be I like this. I like that bad attitude. And she said, and all of them men, and I'm over all of them. She said, I'm over all of these men. Ooh, wee. What's the timestamp on this? 106:38. Ooh, wee. She says, and I'm going to win, and I'm going to win. Not I'm going to win, and I'm going to win. Ooh, wee. I like that. I'll take that bet.
So you already see what all the problems I have.
What you mean of the 17?
I'm over 17
of 17 towns in a township.
Correct.
16 have male mayors. You're the only female.
Correct.
Okay. Go to my panel with questions. Larry, you're first.
Yes.
I don't want to do no panel questions. I seen everything I needed to see. I'll tell you what, she is entertaining. Let me give her a round of applause. I tell you what, she is entertaining. She says, and I'm going to win too. And I'm going to win. And I'm over all of these men. Ooh, single baby mama over all of the men over there in Thornton and Dalton. And she said, and I'm going to win. Oh, man. She started talking about herself in third person. I see why y'all so arrogant, because y'all don't feel like y'all can be taken down. And y'all want to call me arrogant? Shh. Let me read some of these super chats and we're going to move over because we got to get to Fani Willis. These women is just, they sassy. I'm going to get to the Jason House one tomorrow. Because I could call Jason right now. I ain't worried about what Jason's talking about. Yeah. Jamal Fowler says, sliding through on a Wednesday, like Larry June. Brittany B in the building says, Kevin McAllister could never get lost in New York City again. Shout out to Kevin, Home Alone, McAllister in the building. Chris Woodard says, nobody can hurt your purpose because it's yours. That's what Tiffany Henyard told me, at least. I heard that joke. I heard. I'm going to get there. I see you, G-Man 313. Brittany B says, Tiffany stomped the yard in the yard, and she going to beat up y'all. Brittany B says, use deficit in a sentence, Tiffany. Oh, that outfit is cute. I'm 25-0. She said, I'm 25-0. Man, that's a girl. That chick is interesting. Yeah. I bet she got some crate. Let me be quiet. That's for after hours. Stat Sheet Stuffer says she is in charge of a town, yo. Shaking my head. This broad is super ghetto, but she 25-0. 25-0. Chris J says, what the heck is 25-0? This y'all mayor? Jesus. This is identity politics. Shout out to John Luna. Came through with the fireball. JC Cuts is in the building, says, where them likes at, though? Oh, wait a minute. Y'all saying that the likes is low? We need to go to the Kevin Samuels cut? Brittany B says, Nino Brown? Nah, I was doing the scene for Martin. Oh, you mean the scene where he was Nino Brown? Exactly, Britt. He was literally imitating Nino Brown. Black Ink says, she was elected to serve, but not doing her job out here using taxpayer money for her own personal benefit and security. Chris J in the building says, Alizations, holy, my head hurts. Shout out to everybody supporting the platform. Brittany says, Fani drinks Grey Goose, Tiffany drinks Alization. Pookie's friend Ray Ray says, you think Tiffany Henyard would accept a batch of migrants as a dowry in exchange for her hand in marriage? I don't know. She overall men. Y'all better get with the program. Executive Suite Emily says, false Alizations, put that on a t-shirt. Don't worry, I will. That'll probably be my first piece of merch that I launch. Stat Sheet Stuffer says, didn't she say predecessor passed away? Is that how she got out of her salary not being cut? Then she cut the $50K in half. Ooh wee. Mr. Kendall is in the building, says, I wonder why women with a lisp is so powerful. And they got that good box. I ain't even gonna cap. She about to get DJ Vlad. I wonder if she would go on DJ Vlad. Iceberg Slim says, Tiffany Henyard reminds me of every hood rat that I've ever met in my entire life. And some of y'all be getting them pregnant too. Rod Jones says, I believe she got that salary at AD because the former mayor died. Or the former superintendent. And she took over, and so there wasn't an election, and now she's cutting the $50K in half. What are we doing, says Rodriguez Hudson. I don't know. Just trying to figure it out, bro. Iceberg Slim says, Tiffany Henyard has delusions of grandeur. Agreed. Watch Them says, and we're going to score Matt Hasselbeck. Shout out to Tiffany Henyard. I got to give you your props. You standing on business. In other news, and I'm going to be reading the super chats throughout the show, Terrance Bradley, he got broken down on the stand. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Let's get it.
To a possible decision in the disqualification hearing for Fulton County DA Fani Willis.
Yeah, so attorneys grilled a key witness during Tuesday's testimony. So if you didn't see it, here's a little recap for you. Terrance Bradley is who you're looking at on your screen. He is the former law partner of the special prosecutor Nathan Wade. District Attorney Fani Willis hired Nathan Wade to work on former President Trump's election interference case. She says that she admits they've had a romantic relationship, but she says that began after Wade was hired. So Bradley was called to the stand, but he did not elaborate on the timeline of when Wade and Willis's relationship began. Mind you, this is his second time on the stand. The last time he was called to testify, he refused to answer a lot of the questions the defense asked, saying there was attorney-client privilege there. He said he was Wade's law partner, but also represented him in his divorce. The judge said that does not apply in this case, so that is why he was testifying again.
I've said over again that I didn't have any personal information where I could personally say when it started. I've said that time and time again. So I don't know when the relationship started.
Both sides are still summing up their arguments, and once this portion is done, we'll find out if Willis and Wade will be thrown off the election indictment case. We're told a decision could come as soon as next week.
So let me go ahead and give y'all a little bit of a sample of what he was saying when he was being grilled on the stand about whether or not he knew when the relationship started. Now, we all know that he knows, but at the same time, he doesn't want to say if he knows. And so basically what they're telling you is that when he was previously questioned, he used the guise of attorney-client privilege to say that he didn't know because he was also representing Nathan Wade allegedly in his divorce proceedings at one point, right? So because of that, he was able to basically say, hey, listen, I really don't know when it started, because at issue here is an ethics probe. At issue here is whether or not they did things that they wasn't supposed to do, which would then disqualify them from being able to prosecute certain things on this case. This is why this is so important, because they're using taxpayer dollars in order to do things that they're not supposed to do. And if you were in an improper relationship and people benefited from it, that is an issue. Now, at question here, because we all got the evidence and we all know that they lied, we all know that they basically perjured themselves. At question here is this. When did the relationship start? Because we know that they was busting it down for a real one. We know that they tried to seal the divorce documents. We know that he was getting paid and he got paid in a substantial amount of money. We know that they over there lying about the fact that she was giving him cash back whenever it was that he paid for the things that she then gave him the contract for in order to be able to fly back and forth and do all of these little city girl trips, right? We know that they was busting it down for a real one. We know she was getting awards and preaching and talking about she was running in the Victim Olympics and it was because she was a black woman in power. When in reality, it was because you was doing things unethical and you was benefiting from taxpayer dollars as a result of doing it. You was sleeping with a married man. You was sleeping with him at a specific timeline. And so they now trying to act like, oh no, everything was on the up and up and it happened at this particular time frame, even though we getting the 12,000 plus text messages, even though we see all of the city girl nights and when he came in the night and then he left in the morning and then those cell phone towers is pinging exactly where your location and stuff is. And so now what we really trying to nail down here in order for the judge to make a decision of whether or not they should disqualify themselves or recuse themselves from this case, because unfortunately, they're not on trial here. They're not on trial here. And so let me go ahead and play a little bit of what he was experiencing when he was on the stand yesterday.
You on your own came up with the whole notion that it started when she left the DA's office and was judge in South Fulton. That's, according to you, that's speculation on your part, correct?
Overruled. Answer the question, Mr. Bradley.
Yes, that's speculation on my part, yes.
Right. It had nothing to do with what Mr. Wade had told you, correct?
I answered your question. I was speculating to the answer. That is correct.
So maybe you can tell the court, in your own words, why in the heck would you speculate in this text message and say that it started when she left the DA's office and was a judge in South Fulton? Why would you speculate and say that in a text? You said it started when she left the DA's office and was judge in South Fulton. They met at...
Yeah. Asked and answered. All right, understood, Mr. Body. I'm going to let Mr. Sadow have a few minutes on this, and we'll go from there. But
Judge, I'm sorry. I did answer this. I answered it for Ms. Merchant. I stated that I was speculating. The judge, someone objected to the speculation, but this was the exact same language.
All right, well, thank you for that recap, Mr. Bradley. Mr. Sadow is asking the question in a slightly different manner, and I'm going to give him a little bit of leeway to do that. So, Mr. Sadow.
All right, I hesitate to have to start back where I was, but after the word absolutely, you on your own said it started when she left the DA's office and was judge in South Fulton. They met at the municipal court CLE conference. That's what you said, correct?
That is correct.
Now, it's your testimony, at least so far, that when you on your own gave those two statements
Facts, Andre.
in the text, that you were merely speculating and did not have that knowledge from Mr. Wade. Is that your testimony under oath?
Yes, that's what I testified to. Yes, sir.
Let this be a lesson for all of the people. I'm going to let this play for a little while longer, but let this be a lesson to the people. And the lesson is this. For me, personally, I absolutely, positively, unless it's just something like my daughter hit me up and say, hey, Dad, can I buy this from the mall or something? I am not, have never been fond of text messages. I have never been fond of over communicating in a form of text messages, in a form of like over talking on the phone. I have never, ever, under any circumstances, ever been a fan of over talking and stuff like that. People be sending me messages. I just be looking at them like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're talking about. Technology is something else. And this has been a thing for a long time. I'm not confused because they never thought that this would be a thing in the first place. And that's one of the reasons why they felt so comfortable communicating and telling the truth, because the truth is in the text messages. The truth is in what they really communicated. It doesn't matter about whether or not we think it or we know it. He said it, and now all of a sudden it's speculation. No, we know who busting who down. We're not confused. We know what's happening. We know definitively every single time that we did something. They knew when they went to the ATM. They knew when they went and got the money out. They knew when they went to Belize. They knew when they went to the Caribbean. They knew when they went to California. They knew when Trump said that he was going to grab a chick by her crotch. But all of a sudden, don't nobody know nothing about when the relationship started. I get it. He just trying to keep it real for a real one. Let me fast forward a little bit.
Speculation on my part, yes.
Right. It had nothing to do with what Mr. Wade had told you, correct?
I answered your question. I was speculating to.
So you bought the bottle of beer.
That is correct.
So maybe you can tell the court, in your own words, why in the heck would you speculate?
I do.
In this
Car.
text
I just
message?
don't play no games, man. I'm not about to keep going back and forth with you. You keep on talking about. Don't you know that they can triangulate my exact position according to these cell phone towers? I don't even got no phone half the time. Who are you talking to? I switch numbers. I switch burners like nothing. These are just for recording videos. Yo, what's up? This is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. Yo, what's happening? How y'all feeling today? Let me give you a little bit of insight of why I don't agree with the fact that you becoming a step baby daddy. That's what these is for me. I ain't about to sit here and talk back and forth. If you want to kick it with me on some business tip, you can email me. I'm old school. Somebody told me that the other day. Anton, how you going to sit there and tell somebody to email you? Because I'm old school. Y'all ain't never watched The Wire? You know how Stringer Bell got caught up? You know how Marlo got caught up? Huh? You ain't never watched The Wire before. That is a blueprint for life. Don't y'all know that Stringer Bell and Marlo, that boy Marlo, came over and took over the projects over there in Baltimore because he was focused? He understood. They met in the middle of nowhere in the open and nobody could be anywhere near them. I'm telling you.
And say that it started when she left the DA's office and was a judge in South Fulton. Why would you speculate and say that in a text?
I knew they had met at the municipal court conference.
How do you know that? I'll stop you right there. How did you know that?
I answered that at the last. I knew that.
You now,
I knew that, sir, because
I'm asking you questions, and you are in a situation where you get to give answers. Mm-hmm. I'm asking you, how did you know that?
Shout out to Rissa
How did I know when they met?
Somebody told you that, right?
When they met?
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Who told you?
Mr. Wade told me when they met.
Ooh.
So you had more than one conversation about the relationship between Mr. Wade and Miss Willis because he told you where he met her.
That's
correct?
Incorrect. Incorrect.
No, he told you.
It's incorrect.
Okay. Let's go back to the exhibit. Why would you speculate that that's when they started the relationship? What would cause you to put that down as speculation?
This is the guy that need to interview Tiffany.
I don't recall, but why I thought that it started at that time. But I do recall that he only met her, and I testified to that he met her at that conference, which was in 2019.
You knew that Ashley Merchant represented a defendant in this case when you were text messaging with her, correct?
Yes, I did. Yes.
And you knew that the reason she was asking you questions about Mr. Wade was because she was trying to show when the relationship began, correct?
No, that's not 100%
it's not. What's
correct.
the beginning of the text message?
Is Ashley Merchant that bad? That's all I'm trying to understand. Hold on, let me pull up Ash. Is this Ash? Ashley, is you that bad? What did she promise you? What she promise you? Come on, man. She can't. The legs is cool. It looked like she got on a wedding ring. She got on her pearls. You know, the one thing, the black man's biggest weakness is a white woman since the beginning of time. A black man's biggest weakness is a white woman. She put on them pearls, and y'all be like, girl, I don't care what you look like out in these streets. I want you. I's got to have you. I don't care if you look like the old Khloe Kardashian. Y'all remember what Khloe used to look like? Khloe very much reminds me of Ashley. Khloe pretty much reminds me of Ashley. Have y'all ever seen the old Khloe? The old Khloe Kardashian with the K? Before she became Khloe. Before she became Khloe, she was Khloe. Hey, y'all know. Let me tell you something. Before Khloe was Khloe, she was, hey, y'all know, hey, you seen Khloe? You seen Khloe? You seen Khloe over there? Now she, hey, is Khloe available? It's a difference, right? What's the other Kardashian? Hold on. I know that's Khloe. Okay. Yeah. Old photos. Not that Khloe. This Khloe. Yeah, this one. This the one I'm talking about. This Khloe. This one right here. Back when you had the, not Courtney, Khloe. Okay, Khloe. Hey, y'all know where Khloe, tell Khloe to get her ass in here. I'm so sick of this. Tell Khloe to get her ass in here. That one. That one. Okay, so you telling me that's not the same person? Are you telling me that that's not the same person? That's the same person. Hey, where Khloe at? Now is Khloe available? That's the same person. Yo, Big Khloe. You know what I'm saying? Katie and Kyrie. Hey, Big Khloe. That's the same person, fam. You're not going to sit here and tell me that's not the same person. And that's what y'all do it for. That's what y'all did it for. Y'all not ugly. You just ain't got no money. That's all. Money solveth most things. Money solveth most things. That's a fact. Let's get back to this man's testimony. You're not ugly. You just ain't got no money. That's all. Money make you look, money make you pretty. Money make you beautiful. I'm gorgeous.
Yes, but what messages were before this message, before she sent that?
I can't answer that question because I don't have them. All I have is what's in front of you.
Yes.
And it says that she says, do you think it started before she hired me? So you knew, as the counsel for a defendant in this case, that Ms. Merchant was asking you specifically about the knowledge that you had regarding the timing of the relationship between Wade and Ms. Willis, correct?
I mean, based on this, yes, I see what was asked.
And in response to that,
let me tell you something. Money make the most beautiful. Whoever it is that show male celebrity crush, he just lose a little bit of steam when he go broke though, ain't it? It's like, dang, but he broke though. Like all of a sudden he ain't as cute no more. You start noticing the little idiosyncrasies and the little problems that he got going on. He got a twitch in his left eye. He kind of cross-eyed, but you overlooked it because you thought that he had money, and you know, he ain't got as many abs all of a sudden. He was gorgeous when you first met him, but then all of a sudden he went broke and it ain't what it used to be all of a sudden, right? Till you pull up in that Bentley or that Aston Martin or that Porsche. See, when you get money, you start pronouncing things differently. It used to be Porsche. Hey man, y'all, you riding in that Porsche? I'm sorry, it's a Porsche. Porsche. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't talk with the help. It changed. It get a little different. Dang, he cute. I never noticed him before. Girl, you see him? That's what y'all say now. Girl, you see him? Yeah, they ain't see me. They just see my watch.
you answered.
Money can fix a cross eye, Mr. Kendall. You didn't know? He was looking like this before. Now you got your eyes directly on him. You don't even see his eyes no more. He wears shades now.
Directly on your own.
People don't even remember that Biggie had cross eyes. All they remember is the Versace shades. They don't remember Biggie had cross eyes. Biggie was looking just like this. He could see all angles around him. He was the first Biggie was the first 360 camera. Y'all don't believe me. Hold on. Notorious Big, no glasses. Watch this. Notorious Big, no glasses. Now watch the difference. Now look at the difference. Watch this, because you said it couldn't fix it. No glasses. Glasses. That changed, didn't it? Hairline changed. Lips ain't ashy no more. Chains. Everything is a little different now. It hit different. I mean, he ain't gorgeous, but it ain't the same. It ain't the same, you know what I'm saying? It's different now. Jesus pieces, 2 of them, one on each. Come on, man. Y'all not gonna sit here and play me. I know what's happening. I know what's going on. Them shades hit different, didn't they? The chains, the shades, the hairline, it was all different. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine, putting pictures on my wall every Saturday, Rap Attack, Mr. Magic Molly Mall. And then it went from that to one more chance. Biggie, give me one more chance. It started hitting different. One more chance. He started rapping a little slower. He got a little cooler. At first it was Mr. Magic Molly Mall, rapping like your life depended on it. Then it was Biggie, give me one more chance. It started hitting a little different. Boom, boom, start getting a little music, move a little slower. Man, let me get back to my original thing. I'm sitting up here getting distracted. Y'all keep letting me get distracted. Let this man break down on the stand, please.
What you now claim to be speculation, right?
That's correct.
So I ask you one more time before I move to the next part of this. Why would you speculate when she was asking you a direct question about when the relationship started?
I have no answer for that.
Except for the fact that you do, in fact, know when it started, and you don't want to testify to that in court. Overruled. That's the best explanation, isn't it?
This is completely argumentative.
That's the true explanation, because you don't want to admit it in court, correct?
No, I have no direct knowledge of when the relationship started.
All right, so that's enough. That's enough. We know that this man is sweating like... This is the Millionaire Morning Show. This is not after hours. Sometimes I got to remember that, and I catch myself. Because the things that we say and how we do it on after hours is a little bit different than what's happening here on the Millionaire Morning Show. So shout out to all of the churches, everybody at work. I know that y'all at work, and so I'm trying to be a little bit more mindful of that. But this man, I'm going to keep my eye on what's going on with this case. And I'm going to make sure that I keep you guys up to date on what's going on out in these streets, man. The Gray Way says, can y'all tell I've been in the gym lately? Look at my arms. Look at this. Can y'all tell I've been in the gym lately? I'm getting there. Crazy, right? Crazy. I'm so sexy. I'm so sexy. Gray Way is in the building and says, Tiffany, remind me of my daughter talking fast, explaining why the toilet overflowed. She let she put them logs in there, that log cabin, that log work. She know why the toilet overflowed. Our streets. It's crazy out here in these streets. Rod Jones says this is entertaining. It's definitely an ethics issue. Nothing to do with the case. 4 lawyers have pleaded guilty already. Strategy to dismiss. I'll pay for these arms. I'll pay for my arms. Time Out says she got eclectic taste when he got money. He could be missing an eye and still be handsome. Facts. That's a fact, though. Real talk. Until he go broke again, then he start getting ugly again. Forsaken Archives. What's Mr. Marcus doing up there in court? That is not Mr. Marcus. Not even close. You see me? You see me, Mika? Yeah. Let me focus. Rod Jones says he said black and ugly as ever. However, I say coochie down to the socks, rings and rocks filled with rocks. And my jam knocks in your Mitsubishi. Girls pee-pee when they see me. He started talking, didn't he? Coochie down to the socks, rings and watch filled with rocks. I'm just saying. Come on, y'all. We got to get to the money. We got to focus. Y'all ready? Y'all ready to focus? Y'all ready to focus? Now that we done got the stupid stuff out of the way, let's get to it. Real fast, y'all. Apple. I'm looking good, K. Thank you, baby. Thank you, K. James. Hey, you looking slim at the top, man. I'm still heavy at the bottom, though. I'm still heavy at the bottom. I'm slim at the top, but I'm still heavy at the bottom. Yeah, I'm saying? It's a little difference. AP accountability partner. I'm going to read that super chat shortly. We're going to get there. All right, I got to focus. Apple is deciding to completely kill the electric car, but that's not it. That's not the entirety of the story. We got to focus on an investment perspective, and I want to go over this in Stock Club over the weekend. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let me give y'all an up-to-date update on what's going on. And I got a little birdie that's in my ear that's telling me that they eyeing something a little different. We gonna get there.
Apple winding down its electric car effort. And CBC's Steve Kovac joins us now at the table with more on all of it. What happened?
Yes, scrapping plans, hitting the brakes, whatever metaphor you want to use. But look, this is all coming, Andrew, after about a decade and billions of dollars in spending. Bloomberg, of course, first broke that news last night. It's been since confirmed all over the place. Look, this decision comes after years of leadership changes and deviations from the original dream Apple had of a self-driving electric car. They were calling it Project Titan internally, with no steering wheel or gas pedals. At one point, Apple even thought it could start selling its car by 2020. Projects created a revolving door, though, because between talent from Tesla and Apple attracted executives from traditional car companies as well, GM, BMW, and the like. But look, nothing has ever shipped in the last decade from this group, and many top execs bolted after just a few years. The last project leader, that was Doug Field. He's famous for making the Tesla Model 3. He left Apple for Ford in 2021, and most recently, the group was run by Kevin Lynch. He was originally hired by Apple to make the Apple Watch. His job is changing now, by the way. He's going to start reporting to Apple's AI boss, John Giannandrea, also known as JG internally. But look, now this is over. The group of approximately 2,000 employees working on this will be effective. Presumably, many of those focused on the car, the hardware of the car engineering, they're likely out of a job. But if there is one bright spot for Apple here, we've been talking about this all morning, some of that talent is going to be moved over to that John Giannandrea group to work on artificial intelligence. And speaking of AI, let's talk about what Tim Cook said in 2017, calling the company's self-driving car project, quote, the mother of AI projects. So there are several ways to look at this. I'll give you two. How about this? The realization that it's better to focus the investment on the technology that's happening today, that would of course be AI, instead of chasing a highly regulated and low profit margin market like the auto market. And perhaps all that time and money spent on self-driving, the AI can apply apply to whatever magic AI thing Apple is going to be working on and expected to announce later this year. Or you can just look at this as a straight up blunder and Apple's failed attempt to disrupt what Morgan Stanley analysts have been calling to this entire journey a $10 trillion industry that Apple could have tapped into. I think Morgan Stanley was saying they just had to capture 2% of that $10 trillion, bigger than the iPhone business.
So let me tell you, somebody is saying, why is Apple trying to make cars stick to phones? Apparently, you guys are not familiar with business and you don't understand why they are trying to do anything, because market share growth and disruption and then being able to, okay, let me back up for a minute, because I got to remember that we all got to start from someplace. And so it's important for me to break it down from a C student's perspective. I'm going to be reading those super chats shortly. How do you control a market? First of all, it's big bank, take little bank. Secondly, it's who does it better, faster, right? Third, Apple wants to continue to swallow people into its ecosystem. I'll give you an example. An iPhone was the first thing that got me, right? Because I was always a BlackBerry guy. Anybody that was coming up in the late 90s, early 2000s, once you start getting past a certain, it was the BlackBerry that was the king, right? The BlackBerry was the big dog. If you had a BlackBerry, you was about business, right? And so the first thing that got me, even though I resisted becoming a Apple integrated into the Apple system, was an iPhone, because eventually they bought me an iPhone and I said, okay, I'm ready, let me try it out. Then it went from an iPhone to a MacBook, because then when they started to suck you into the ecosystem, the beauty of Apple and what makes them so unique is that all of their products is not necessarily so much more technically advanced than what's going on at Samsung or Microsoft, is that it's all integrated and it's easier to use. I don't need any cords. I don't need anything. When I go and I record something, I just airdrop it straight over to my computer. I edit it. I then airdrop it back over to this. If I need to capture some more information, I can edit my stuff on the phone. I can use my phone as an easier way for me to be able to live stream on. Sometimes I even use it as a camera. It's a lot of different ways in which it's integrated. It's all integrated. What happens on my phone ultimately shoots over to my Apple Watch. When I'm working out, I can automatically see my stuff. It's a very, very well integrated platform, and then they leverage technology to continue to improve performance on those platforms. So it's not about whether or not it's more technologically advanced. That's the thing that Samsung users and Android users don't get. They all about, hey, it's the technicality. No, it's about the ease of use. And the thing that makes you the most profitable is how easy it is for people to do what they want to do as fast as they want to do it. That's what it is. I work on whatever it is that I got over there on my Mac Studio, and then I never have to carry my laptop. I wind up just going straight over into my penthouse, and then I just open up my laptop, and it's already set up and it's already integrated. And so user experience is more important to Apple than hurrying up and trying to release a feature out to the general public, right? And the Apple Car obviously would play into that, but it's a lot of things that came from that. For example, now it's just normal for you to require Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, regardless of what you start getting into. And what Apple also discovered, if you start to listen to these earnings calls, was that it was more profitable and much easier for them to scale when you start paying attention to the services division that they then developed as a part of the Apple Car. So it's a lot of things that came out of it. And when the Apple Car kind of came into play, yeah, they were planning to release it eventually, but it was kind of like a concept car. When you go to the auto show, you see these concept cars and you say, man, they never gonna build that. Well, in a way they do, because they take a lot of the different design cues and the technology that they're showing you at the auto show, and then they testing it to the general public to see what the response is. That ultimately makes its way in so many different vehicles that they wind up saving a whole lot of money and selling to you at a profit, right? It may be the software that they use in order to make sure that the ride suspension is riding a certain way, or it could be the aerodynamics that they develop as a result of this, and then the design cues from the headlights start to make its way into the design language of all of the vehicles that, ultimately water and filters itself down from the top vehicles all the way down to the bottom vehicles, right? A lot of people are looking at Porsche, and they say, well, electric cars, we don't really like electric cars. The Taycan sold well, But if you look at the Taycan, and then when I wind up buying Rita her new Cayenne truck, I looked at it and I said, man, the same technology that they mastered inside of the Taycan was the same technology that, the screens, how they set up the screens, all of the software inside of it, whether or not it's buttons or whether or not it's just a touch screen in the middle, right? A lot of that technology started to filter its way into the other vehicles that they wound up developing, that they're just now releasing to the general public, that they think that they get new, that I didn't had 3 years ago, right? iPods became iPhones, iPhones became iPads, and it's the same thing over and over again. So it's the ecosystem, but it's the software. But then they don't necessarily have to release a product. They can test the product, but then they're still having the bean counters to determine whether or not it's going to be more profitable for them to actually release a physical product, or if it's easier for them to wind up buying another product. We're going to get there in a second. All right? We're going to get there in a second.
So do you look at this as a failure? I mean, we were talking about all the other things that happened in the last couple of years that they got out of it, right? I mean, they were working on this, not just the EV part of it, but remember, they were trying to do mapping. They actually got maps out of it. They're now in the CarPlay in 98% of cars. I think
something like that. You can't rent or buy a car without CarPlay.
And I was basically making the argument that the entire time that they were going this route, they were basically hedging the whole effort. If you will.
It's possible, but I mean, you got to look at it in the other way too. They hired real car engineers to work on this. They wanted to build an actual car, and that shifted so many times. Look, I remember Elon Musk saying Tesla's robotaxis are coming next year. That was 5 years ago. So no one has figured this out yet. Waymo, they were early on this. They haven't figured it out. Why spend all that effort putting something that just continues to be 5 to 10 years away?
Right. Do you believe when they say they're, redeploying the resources towards AI? Is that just something you say in this environment where if you just say the words AI anything?
You have to say it. And look at Kevin Lynch, the executive who I mentioned, who was in charge of the project up until yesterday, really. He was there for the Apple Watch, and now he's almost been demoted or maybe sidestepped now. He's reporting under this AI group. It sounds like the move, why let those software engineers go to Microsoft or a competitor, let them work on AI? The real question is, can those learnings that they did, what Cook called the mother of all AI projects, can that be translated to whatever they're going to announce for some kind of AI iOS version that might come this summer?
I think that's...
Now, it's funny, right? Because when we have this conversation, and one of the things that I talk about in Stock Club is that you only want to really have like one speculative holding, right? Because stocks are not ways for you to gamble. It's ways for you to make a strategic investment. And in those investments, you make so many gains in the metas and the things that's a part of your magnificent 6 or 7 that you then start to evaluate, well, if I had to take one bet on something that could possibly explode, what would it be, right? And so one of the things that I talk about, and I'm not going to talk about it extensively on this, y'all got to join the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. One of my speculative plays, or my only speculative play right now, because, we are investing in trash. We talked about that in the last Stock Club. We went over the hospitality industry. We talked about different technology, why it is that we want to go in or don't go in. Even when it came to trash, we walked away from waste management. I wound up buying into something else. I'll tell you guys what that is on Sunday. But I was looking at it, for example, and one of the stocks that's really, really down, but I've been sticking with, and I've still been dollar cost averaging because I'm so far up on all of my other holdings, was Rivian. Now, why would Anton start paying attention to Rivian and not continue to invest in Toyota, not continue to invest in a traditional United States automaker, a Tesla, any of those people? Why would he go into the electric vehicle sector, considering that everybody seems to be pulling back when it comes to electric vehicles, especially with regard to all of the press that was happening over in Chicago? Well, I'll give you one of the reasons why. Because I anticipate something big happening, and I could be absolutely positively wrong, but I'm taking a strategic view of this, thinking that this is how it's going to play out long term. They are speculating that one of the reasons and one of the plays that Apple is actually considering is to buying an entire automaker based off of them already proving the technology and them already going into a different direction, while at the same time not having to manufacture it themselves. Why would we stand up an entire Apple car company when we can just buy one that's already there? And they're speculating that it's a possibility that they could buy Rivian.
So, even if you don't care about cars, is this a good move for Apple? Is it good news for Tesla, Rivian, and others? With us tonight is Deepwater Asset Management Managing Partner Gene Munster and Gerber Kawasaki President and CEO Ross Gerber. Gene, you say you're surprised, but I wonder why. Whoever thought that an Apple car was a good idea in the first place?
Well, I think Apple thought it was a good idea, and I think that they've got a history of redefining, reimagining product categories that were getting off the ground. And so the amount that they're investing, by my measure, was about $1 billion per year, most of that coming over the past 3 or 4 years. And Tim Cook
it wouldn't
said
be
famously
it
in
wouldn't be a merge.
2017
If
that
it ever
autonomous
happened, not saying that I
vehicles are
would
the mother
happen.
of all.
If it would happen, then it would be a buying of the company. It wouldn't be a merge, because you got to remember, Rivian already has a contract to build, and Amazon is their largest shareholder, to build the vehicles that is now replacing and that you see driving up and down your street, the electric vehicles that's now delivering your packages every single day that goes to your homes.
All AI projects. And so if you listened and watched what they're doing, they wanted to do this. This was a goal. And of course, they've now shifted direction. So that's what surprised me. I had put the odds at this at 50-50 that this would come out, 50% chance. I'm famously wrong for predicting Apple Television that got killed in 2017. And that 2017 episode reminded me, because Apple is working on something doesn't mean that it will see the light of day. And now we add the Apple car to that category.
You're too hard on yourself. Apple TV does exist, not the physical TV, but of course the box. So we'll give you a pass on that one, Gene. Ross, is this, I mean, listen, Apple could have probably owned Tesla 5 to 10 years ago. Maybe they still could take a pass at it. Who knows? What's your take?
Well, I was with Gene with the Apple TV, and, I still can't believe they didn't release the TV, but I knew they were never going to do a car. Being an early Tesla investor and knowing their mode and knowing where they were at, and I had done many interviews back as far as 2015, talking about Apple taking a stake in Tesla. And when Tesla was in trouble in 2018 and needed money, supposedly there was a conversation between the two that Tim doesn't remember, but that lack of memory probably cost him hundreds of billions of dollars for Apple shareholders if he would have taken a stake in Tesla at the time. And just the same, we see a similar opportunity for Apple if they want to be in this business by taking a stake in Rivian. But they don't want to be in this business, and they've made a clear commitment to Vision Pro, and moving this team over to AI is the smartest thing they can do. So this is a good move for Apple.
Do you think, and I'll go back to you, Ross, we're going to just have a little fun. It's Tuesday, worst night of the week. Let's have some fun. Any chance Apple, at $2.8 trillion in market cap, could try to buy Tesla at $700 billion in market cap? Or is that completely
I don't
insane?
think that makes sense.
Well, not with this FTC. I mean, this FTC won't even let two bad grocery stores merge, let alone something as dominant as that. So, we got to wait till something changes there.
But here's the thing. And it's all speculative, and I think that Rivian will survive. And again, it's a strategic move. Very, 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 very small part of my portfolio, but I'm going to continue to invest in them because I believe in RJ Scarange. I also believe that Amazon is making a strategic partnership with them, and they made an investment that will allow for them to make the play long term. I'm not looking at now, I'm looking at long term. It also helps the shareholders for them to continue to lay off people that's not needed for the company. But more importantly, I don't think that Apple is done with cars in general. I just don't. I don't believe so. I think that Apple for a long time is always looking to acquire or at least make a part of their portfolio what's going on in the car business. I think that the market cap for the car business is too big for them just to completely ignore. If you continue to see car manufacturers want to only or want to divest themselves as far as their proprietary technology or not for allowing for Android Auto or Apple CarPlay to be a part of their cars, I think that they still want to be a part of that ecosystem. So I think that it makes sense for them to get into the car business eventually. I don't think it makes sense for them to buy a Tesla. Ultimately, interestingly enough, is that I do believe that Apple is smart enough to not spend too much time or too much money investing in or becoming a part of something. They're not going to be a Microsoft when Microsoft bought Nokia. They're not going to be a Microsoft when Microsoft bought Nokia. It makes no sense, right? They're not going to buy a business just to write it down. If they can't see a path to profitability for it, or for it to feed into what it is that they already got planned for. Because these companies plan for 10 and 15 years out. If it doesn't feed into a larger vision, then they will never execute on it, because they don't do based off of speculation. They base their decisions off of real world technology and how they can actually grow that business. So you're not going to see them buy something and try to hold on to it for speculation. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes. I'm going to keep paying attention to that specifically. In addition to that, and I'm going to read Super Chat shortly, Florida, there's a condo and a housing crisis in Florida, and homeowners are really, really struggling over there. Take a look, ladies and gentlemen. Let's dig into that a little bit.
Welcome back. Tonight, we continue to follow through for you on Florida's fractured home insurance market. And now condo owners are reaching out to us, voicing their frustrations and their fears that they will be priced out of paradise. Wendy?
Yeah, that's right, Paul. In fact, Karen Shipman is one of them. She owns a condo in Venice, and she wrote to us saying, quote, insurance keeps going up, up, up with no end in sight. She goes on to say, quote, living in Florida is becoming too expensive. And this is all backed up by a new Redfin report released today showing more Floridians are offloading their condos they simply can no longer afford. ABC Action News reporter Nadine Yanis is digging into that report tonight.
We are looking at the Gulf of Mexico, and this is the reason we bought this place, was for the view.
This second-story Gulfront condo in Venice was supposed to be Karen Shipman and her husband's last home. Retiring here from Pennsylvania in 2021, but now
we're on a fixed income. Could we afford to keep this place?
With condo.
Let me start there. I think a lot of us neglect to understand exactly what our finances is going to look like when we get older. A lot of us neglect to understand exactly what our finances is going to look like when we get older. I am very, very keen and very much aware of what my finances is supposed to look like, what I'm projecting for my finances to look like when I get older. I do plan on being productive my entire life, but I had retired in 2019 when I was 37 years old. It was one of the most boring things that ever happened in my life. It probably was a little bit worse simply because the pandemic had just set on. Because it was the end of 2019. I was going into 2020. The basketball season had got canceled, and everybody was stuck at home. And I was like, I don't know what the heck is going on right now. But I very much planned on spending the rest of my life going to Pistons games, sitting courtside, traveling the world, and seeing what's happening, and making sure that my daughter seeing me at every last one of her taekwondo whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I realized that I had so much more to give, and there was so many more industries to disrupt. And things that I wanted to do, and voices that I wanted to, things that I wanted to say, and voices that I wanted to impact, and people that I wanted to help, right? And so, you know, I got the opportunity of a lifetime. They proposed an opportunity in corporate America. Obviously, during the pandemic, we did what we did when it came to content creation. Real estate was crazy at the time, and so I didn't buy anything during the pandemic, but I just waited and I just bought land. And now we in a space where I'm building, right? And I'm doing things that I never even thought that I was going to do because it wasn't even a thing that was in my mind, but I'm exploring different things. I'm learning more and I'm doing it. But one of the reasons that I'm doing a lot of the things that I'm doing is I realized that I didn't just want to have enough money to last me for the rest of my life. I didn't want to just be a millionaire for the rest of my life. Now the goalpost has moved because I want to maintain a specific lifestyle for the rest of my life. And I don't think that we really having that conversation. The thing that we all neglect to have a conversation about, we talk about God, we talk about relationships, we talk about cars, we talk about the election. But you know what I find that we really don't talk about in this culture? We don't talk about what we gonna look like when we decide that we're not working no more. Very few people actually talk about it. I don't know if y'all think y'all gonna live forever. I don't know if y'all think that y'all gonna just be working forever. I don't know if I've seen so many people retire only to become greeters at Walmart. And there's nothing wrong with becoming a greeter at Walmart, but I don't see anybody talking about the fact that most people have less than $1,000 in the case of an emergency. And what do you think that that's gonna translate into when you retire? What you think, we gonna just keep pushing the retirement age back? You're not looking to actually live that much longer. And so you think that it's just going to be over when you decide that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to figure out what y'all talking about. See? Jay says, well, tomorrow isn't promised. Well, what if it is? What if you get there? You just going to be poor the whole time? You going to live in a trailer park? No, see, for me, I'm going to operate in abundance 100% of the time. And so when you even take these people and you having a conversation, don't you know that even people that have money, they still is on a fixed income, and they didn't take into consideration that the fact that their HOA fees and their insurance was going to get canceled in Florida, and they was going to be pushed out and priced out of the thing that they thought that they was going to retire to for the rest of their life. Don't you know it's a lot of people that is begging, and they going homeless, and they on the streets, and they was having thriving lives, and now that's one of the reasons why you see so many people homeless over in Los Angeles? You can't think like that. You got to think both ways. Don't you know you can have your cake and eat it too? Why can't I live the life that I want to live now and make sure that I can live the life that I want to live later? Why can't I make sure that I live the life that I want to live now and plan for the future? Why can't we do both? You can have two women at the same time, but you can't plan for making sure that you take care of yourself now and in the future? They say, Anton, a rapture is coming. You know, I've been hearing that since I was a little kid. But we not even going to make it to the year 2000. Here we are in 2024, and y'all living van life.
Insurance costs and HOA fees continuing to rise.
Even our mortgage has gone up by $1,000.
This new Redfin report says Florida's insurance crisis and new laws after the Surfside collapse are to blame.
Since Surfside, we also, on our personal homeowners insurance, have a surcharge. But before Surfside, that surcharge was around $100. Right now, I just renewed my policy for March, and I think it's almost up at $700.
And that's just a surcharge on her policy. Reasons Redfin says condo owners are now offloading their properties, no longer able to afford it.
Like, I want this to be our last place, but I'm not sure it will be if the cost keeps going up.
So the Redfin report that says in the state of Florida, condo sales year over year have dropped nearly 7%. This while listings have gone up 28%. These are very similar numbers for the Tampa Bay area, and we spoke with one realtor who says she's seeing it on the ground.
It's been on the market for 151 days. We've had 3 showings.
Barbara Schmall has been a real estate agent since the 90s and has never seen the Florida condo market this bad.
We can't get people to come to open houses. None of the agents who have buyers are calling.
And says it's particularly hitting those on fixed income.
And that's what made Florida, where the 55 over retirees who really created our beautiful state, and now they're being punished for it.
Condo owners pay for insurance twice, with their own policy for their unit and through
on the books. Their condo has been on the market for 151 days. Florida, sunshine, beaches, naked bodies, dad bods, the whole thing. Condo has been on the market for 100 and some days, only had 3 showings. Now, remember, we are in a market where there's a limited amount of homes that's really hitting the market because of the interest rates, and people don't really want to sell anything because then they're going to have to go and finance something else. People don't want to go out here and finance anything because they know that they're going to be paying a higher interest rate. But at the same time, guess what? They can't afford to stay where they at. So now you're stuck between a rock and a hard place because your insurance is going up. Insurance companies is absolutely leaving, and your condo fees and your association fees is going up. Your association fees are going up, and you cannot afford to live where you live in anymore.
Through their HOA and what's called a Master Condo Association policy. According to the Insurance Information Institute, those policies are going up anywhere from 100 to 500% right now.
Never, ever. And a lot of people had to learn this the hard way because they didn't know. But under no circumstances, never, ever, ever, ever. And this is just my own personal policy. This is my own personal experience, and this is what I'm telling you guys. I'm just sharing you. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you that I will never, ever. I own one property out of 17. 18 and 19 is being built. 20 we have yet to break ground on. I have one property that have HOA fees. That's in a condo association. It's still a house. It's a home, but it's in a subdivision that they designated as condos, and I pay less than $50 a month for that. Never, ever. Actually, yeah, I pay less than $50 a month for that. Never, ever buy a place where they're charging you condo association fees. I know that it can seem like an opportunity. I know that it can seem like whatever, so on and so forth. But do not buy places in places where they're charging you association fees.
I felt like Florida was such a paradise. And sometimes with the rising cost and everything, I feel like it's paradise lost now.
If you want to see the full Redfin report, we have it right now on abcactionnews.com.
She kind of hot too, though, on the low. Who is this lady? I do a little bit of research. We'll find out. Let me read a couple of the super chats, and then I want to share one more thing with you guys because I know that this is something that's probably going to be controversial because none of the ladies want to talk to this type of guy, but we going to talk about it. K. James says, yeah. Yeah, you start feeling a little bit more sexy when they start talking to you like this. Yeah, you looking a little slim at the top, Anton. Heavy at the bottom. Heavy at the bottom. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. Hey, how come when guys start to feel themselves a little bit, their voice go down real low? Because when you're excited, you start talking like this, but then when you start getting a little bit more, feeling yourself a bit, because I don't know, man. I just be chilling, bro. I ain't talking about nothing. What y'all got up over there? Y'all slow motion? Nah, I got a little something coming through tonight. Nah, what you got up? Word. What time you think you gonna be getting in today? Everything cool? Y'all good over there? Hey, let me know if you need anything. I got you. Oh no, we just chilling. We ain't got nothing popping. We gonna be chilling all weekend. Hit me up. Hey, they get a little cool, smooth, all of that extra energy and adrenaline start to go down a little bit. When you excited, it's like, everything is going. The game is on and all of that. Then he switch over from coming with his boys, and it's a little different. Hey, y'all chilling? Nah, you ain't hit me up. Did I miss your call? I ain't even see that. Where was it at? Where you hit me up at? I got it right here. See, look, it's showing that it ain't even that wasn't my notifications off. It was in sleep mode. You know I'm not gonna trip off that. Girl, what? You just upset, ain't you? I got you. Nah, I got you. Listen, let me make it up to you. Let me make it up to you. Nah, for real. I'm not playing no games. You always think somebody playing. I'm not playing. I was just busy. I was getting to this bag. You know, I can't miss out on no money because if I'm missing out on the money, then that means that we not on top of our game. You don't want that. Nah, just hit me up. For real. We gonna slide through later on. Probably a little later because I gotta go get this bag, but we gonna slide through a little later on. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, go give me my own show. Give me my own Chappelle show. You know what I'm saying? They out there trying to play me like I don't deserve my own show. I might have to create my own show. Give me my show. AP accountability partner is in the building. Says, much love, big dog. Spark these. See, listen, AP accountability partner. You talking too aggressive to the ladies. Like, look, AP accountability partner says, Anton, spark these interests. Sex is all I expect if they watch TV and the legs. Oh. That's the lyric. I'm sorry. You right. That's the lyric. My bad. I'm always rocking with you, bro. Always. So you just got to say it a little bit differently. You don't want to talk to him like that. You don't want to talk to him like that. Shout out to my dog, AP Accountability Partner is in the building. Paying my ties, forgot to hit a like on my way. This is my repentance. It's always dope, fun, and informative. We just have a good time over here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to AP, the Accountability Partner. I appreciate you. JP says Apple is investing in their own AI, Ajax. Yeah, but they don't necessarily announce it. They usually just implement it into their products. Jay Hunter Lee is in the building, says a paradigm shift is vital to many. I agree. I can't wait till y'all see my stand-up. I'm going to do a stand-up show soon. Dr. Nikita Cloud says, sending love, bro. Came in late catching them. Oh, Doc, you're going to want to watch the beginning of this show. You're going to have to restream this one. All right, ladies. Y'all ready? We got I got something for y'all. This is specifically for my ladies. What up, Trap? What up, Trap? Hey, when the ladies send a super chat, it'd be a little different, don't it? What's up, Trap? Trap, what you got going on? Oh, you got to do some more heads today? Hey, tell your homegirls I said what up. What's up, ladies? How y'all doing? Y'all good? Anybody need anything? Y'all want something to drink? No, I'm about to go to the store. Y'all need something to drink? I know you want something to drink. You always thirsty. Girl, you need to drink more water. Because your juices and berries, it flow a little bit differently. You're going to taste different. When you tell her that, Adriana, our street says, Anton, when the next meetup? When you tell her that, no, you got to drink some more water. Pineapples, strawberries. It got natural sugars, and it cleanses out your system. No. I mean, you drink water. Make sure you just drink a whole bottle as soon as you wake up. You take your vitamins, your minerals, get your juices and your berries flowing. Y'all keep getting me distracted. Ladies, this last one is for you. This last one is for you. Man is making $220,000. Man is making $220,000 and living with his parents. Now, before we play this, because I have not seen this at all. What up, Tia Marie? Yeah. Before we play this, because I have not seen this yet, all right? Let me ask y'all a question. Does it change the conversation now that he's making $220,000 a year? Because the ladies is used to saying, oh, he keeps saying that his mama lived with him, when in reality he lived with his mama. Well, what if he's making $220,000 a year? Is it okay for him to live with his parents? Does that then change the conversation? Because listen, y'all think y'all too good to talk to a man that lived with his mama. What if his parents really live with him? Hey, I take care of my mom. I take care of my mom and my dad. So, I just stay in the basement though. Yo, me and my parents, we live together. We saving money. What's wrong with that? Fellas, if you say it with confidence, then they gonna roll anyway. Just have confidence in your conversation and stand on what you stand on. Let's get into this. It's a man that says that he's in Houston, Texas, and he makes $220,000 a year, and he's still rooming with his parents. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's see what he's talking about.
The fact that I'm living with my parents, there's a lot of stigma attached to it. There is a cultural aspect to it where it is required that you take care of your parents. It's a choice. It's a choice that I made
What up,
to
Messi?
be with my parents, and I'm grateful for this choice. I'm able to save living with my family. I've been able to build a real estate portfolio with 4 investment properties, looking at the 5th one. And I do think my relationship now has been the best with my parents than it has been before. My name is Sal Khan. I am 31 years old. I make $220,000 a year, and I live with my parents in Houston, Texas.
Now, he got 4 going on 5 investment properties, real estate. Make $220,000. See, this is why y'all don't want to tell him too early. Because she going to judge you, and she going to say, oh, he lived with his mama and his daddy. He just a mama's boy. He just a mama's boy. He ain't got no money. He ain't got nothing because he wearing a turtleneck. Let me tell you something. Men that wear a black turtleneck, especially in the summertime, they got money. Men that wear black turtlenecks in the summertime, they got money. Yeah. New Balances and turtlenecks, khakis, got money. Now, he may not necessarily have the suaveness, but I know that that's not what y'all want. Y'all want Tupac in a suit, but we going to get there.
I work in tech sales for a software company out in the Bay Area. My base salary is $155,000. The rest is just bonus and commissions. I'm on a 70-30 plan, which means my total comp is 230, but that doesn't mean that I'm capped at 230. I can always exceed the bonuses, and it really just depends.
Get that money then, big dog. Get that money.
One of the things that they've mentioned to me earlier is if you have savings, start off real estate investing ASAP. My goal was like to make sure I can have enough savings to go get my first property. For my 4 properties, the approximate net income would be $8,000 for the year. Because of the relationship that we have, it's not like a specific that I have to pay this bills. My parents are very relaxed. So let's say if my parents go grocery shopping, they're not gonna give me like a bill and say, oh, this is the things that we bought for you. Every month, I try to give my mother $200, just like a gift. There has been a couple expenses here and there for my parents' medical, so I was able to fit the bill. I would say my biggest splurge would be eating out. And
let's look at his. Now we know that gym membership is just okay. Let's just be real, Sal. That gym membership is just on there. He not using that gym membership. All right. Student loans. He need to go ahead and eliminate those. He's still paying $234 a month. Insurance is $250. Gas and parking $300. Discretionary $1,400. What is this discretionary? Travel, gifts, and entertainment. So he just having a good time. This dude spending what are you spending $1,600 a month on food for? I don't understand. $1,600 a month by yourself on food and y'all go grocery shopping? Okay, come on, big dog. He living with his parents because he got a large budget for the food. And housing is $2,100 a month. Now let me see that. Mortgage on 1 property. This budget is so confusing. I don't understand it. I don't understand this budget. $2,100 a month on housing, $1,600 a month on food. I understand the discretionary. He out there triggering off on some hoes because he got to get his little junk wet. Gas and parking. Okay. Student loans. This is a weird budget. Honestly, this is a very, very weird budget. I thought that this budget was going to be popping. But it's a weird budget. Very, very weird.
Traveling.
So he stacked. He definitely stacked because he ain't saying where he putting his money at. But he stacked when he put a down payment of about $100,000 on his first property in April 2022. Where's this located? Oh, Houston.
It was new for me, and I just took it on myself. I didn't hire a property manager. I wanted to do it on my own. I couldn't find a lot of people that would be willing to kind of move in the suburbs. And lo and behold, my sister was in Chicago, and she had always wanted to move to Houston.
These dudes is keeping all money in. Every dollar is going in. So he cash flowing $584 a month.
Like the typical landlord relationship is not there, because she's my sister. It's more casual. It's a good relationship, and I'm really happy that I got to help my sister and she got to help me.
Why is he purchasing properties?
All in all, I would say about 5 hours a week is what I'm spending on the 4 rental properties. Whether it's maybe scheduling a plumber for the rentals, maybe scheduling an electrician if things are not working, or just like checking in to see what some of the investor calls that we have for the storage facility or the rental units.
Oh, he bought a
Making
storage
money
facility.
is like you want to still be able to enjoy it and still have the freedom to enjoy it.
That's
so I don't
very
want to
smart.
overburden myself where it's too intense. So I think the limit in my case would be 10 properties. That is where like I would rather just focus on the 10 and really focus on what I have in my investment portfolio versus going over more quantities.
No, I'm targeting 50 properties. That's what I want. I think that 50 will put me exactly where I need to be. So that's my target goal. I'm sure that once I hit that, I'll still continue to run the business, like growing it normally, like I was already growing it or whatever. But my target is 50 properties. I don't even spend 5 hours a week at all on any of the properties. whatsoever. I might spend a couple hours doing a walkthrough or checking on what it is that they putting together at the property that I'm building. But as far as the ones that I already have, I don't spend hardly any time on those properties. So I don't know what he's doing. I don't have no property manager or anything like that. But he's very, very smart. He's very smart. He buying properties. Obviously, he bought a storage unit / rental facility. I think that he's very smart. But here's the question that we really got to ask ourselves. It's not even a question of whether or not Sal is doing what he's doing. The question is, would the ladies be willing to still get on his program? Would the ladies still get on his program? That's the question. Would you be willing to live with him and his parents or no? Because I seen somebody, I think it was Tia Marie. Tia Marie said, are we still going to be living with the parents or is it any problem to get out? I think that was Tia. I could be wrong. The question is, would y'all be willing to get on his program considering that he makes so much money, but you would, Mika? Okay. Is there room for a wife and a family in the house? Yeah, y'all got your own bedroom. Y'all got your own bedroom. Too many singles in the DMV. He don't got to worry about ladies because his marriage is going to be arranged. He not going to marry a regular chick, matchmaker because of his culture. Probably so. Definitely not the black ladies. Might be in an arranged marriage. Unless he tricking on them. I'll be in the basement doing hair, running it up. Now, black women, we can live with his parents, but we can't have loud sex. Oh, man. Y'all, this is pretty good. Ladies, for his program would be his culture. Interesting. Keisha says she not doing it. She said she not doing it. I don't want to know about his family life.
I got the last one to come to you.
$19,000 left, making the minimum payments of $234 each month. I don't know why you're making so many little payments. Just pay that junk off. I hate that. And his sisters, his two older sisters live nearby. So you getting family visits all the time. Megan said, no, my husband makes more money than him. Okay, husband. Get it then.
Very close family, and we have maintained that till this day. I do feel there is a part of me that makes up for the lost time. It's also the fact that, I'm the youngest in my family, so I would get to spend the least amount of time with my parents. I didn't have that kind of day-to-day relationship. I didn't really, spend time that much bonding that I do have now. So I think that has been the blessing. There was that missing piece where this is an opportunity that we could, use as a family and really improve our relationship.
You can go in and y'all could be all having family dinner every other day or every single day. Y'all don't want to sit there with his family and have and eat together?
But the fact that I'm living with my parents, there are some adjustments that I'm making, especially when I look at the biggest adjustment would be my dating life. So the person I'm dating now she's living with her parents, I'm living with my parents.
Look at that. He went and got him an Asian girl, Nina de Santa Maria. Nina de Santa Maria. What is Nina? Nina look Japanese. Is Nina Japanese?
When we move in together, there's a possibility that her parents as well as my parents will be living together. So it's just like one of those things where you just have to find people that understand your situation.
He got 200. Why did he got Robinhood? 46,000 invested with Wealthfront, $37,000 in retirement savings. He getting to it, y'all. He getting to that bag.
I have over $200,000 saved, and that's where I am in the process of getting another property, a duplex here in Houston that I'm actively looking for, and use some of that savings that I have to
look at all of the little kids there
for that
playing the piano and everything.
I do plan to move out eventually. I'm thinking in the next 2 to 5 years. I don't have a specific timeline yet. I think for me, it's really more about the financial targets that I'm at. I do want to get to at least $2 million in assets before I move out. So that's my personal goal. I do want to bring in my parents, and that's only because I do take care of them. They love living with me, and they have explicitly mentioned that wherever I go, they want to go with me.
Now, how about that? How about that? He said that whenever he moved, his parents has expressed that wherever he go, they saying that they gonna move with him. Are y'all ready for that? Adriana, are you ready for that? I don't think that most women is built for that. I don't think that they care how much money you got. I think that they like, I don't want your parents being around us. When we gonna get our own place? I want to scream. I want to spread out. I want to spread ego. What if you want to bend me over on the couch and all of that? His parents said, listen, wherever it is that you go, we going to. I hear you, Megan. I hear you, Megan and Roxy.
So that's
Roxy said curry and white chairs.
Whole part of that, where especially as they get older, there are definitely more needs, and for me that's like my biggest honor. Like I get to be with them and spend more time. So that's the idea here, where we do move out, it'll be with me, and we'll go from there.
So he really not even moving out. He said when we do move out, they gonna be with me. Our streets ain't having that. No screaming there, Roxy. Y'all can forget it. Y'all can forget it. I know y'all thought that y'all was going to be doing y'all thing and, oh, man, eventually he going to move out and we going to have our own place. Nope. 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 That is not where it is. That's not what's going to happen. I walk around with no clothes on. Okay, Keisha. Okay, I see you, big dog. Yeah. All right. Listen, it's been an incredible show. Let me read some of these super chats, and then I'm going to get y'all up out of here for the day because I know that y'all tired of hearing me talking about what the low voice. This is low voice day. I'm about to change the name of this live stream to low voice. Travis Slay says, y'all voices get low because them lies y'all about to start telling are brewing. No, never. Never. I ain't going to lie to you. I'm never going to lie to you. I'm going to just tell you the truth. Strategically. It's not that I don't love you. I just don't know you well enough to make that decision yet. You see what I'm saying? So you say, do you love? No, you ain't gonna say, no, I don't love you. You gonna say, it's not that I don't love you. It's that I'm looking to understand exactly how you need to be loved. You see that? You can communicate anything to anybody if you communicate it the right way. Fellas, if she tells you, if she asks you, if she's looking and y'all been talking for a while and she say, do you love me? Or she keeps saying, I love you, and you're not ready for that yet because you understand exactly what that's going to mean, all you got to do is communicate it a little bit differently. You ain't never told me you love me. I think you misunderstanding what I'm saying. It's not that I don't love you. I just don't want to tell you I love you as a result of you telling me you love me. You know, because that's not, it's almost like that just goes over. I don't think that people really are communicating effectively. And I just think that it ain't meaningful. You know, I hear people say, I love you back real quick. It don't mean nothing. I just don't want to say it to you just because you said it to me. You know, I want to meet you where you at and I really want you to understand it. So when I say it to you, you're going to understand it. Or you could say, it's not that I don't love you. Is that I'm just growing with you and I'm scared. I am. I'm genuinely. Hold on. Let me just hear me out. And I really am scared. Hold on. You scare me. You really do scare me. Why do I scare you? I don't scare. I'm not nothing to fear. Look at me. No, it's not that. It's not the stuff that we got to deal with on a regular basis. You know, I'm not fearful of that. I understand it. I'm willing to die for what it is that I believe in. I go out here and I slay these demons every single day. It's not that. It's the things that get close to you, and I just don't like nobody getting close to me. Honestly, I just don't like nobody getting close to me. Why you don't like nobody getting close to you? Cause, man, you know, the last person that got close to me, they died. Honestly, yeah. And I've never been able to get over it. Listen, I'm trying to tell you that I'm not lying. I'm telling you the truth. Man, y'all not trying to hear me. Shout out to Slap. I've learned that you can say anything to anybody if you say it the right way. And you tell them the truth, but you try to help them to understand it. Because I'm scared. And you scare me. Adriana, give me 24 hours. 24 hours, I'm going to change your life. 24 hours, I'll change your life. You scare me, Adriana, honestly. For real, honestly, I looked at, okay, you know what I seen when I seen your picture on the screen, Adriana? Fear. No, not from you, from me. Not from you, from me, honestly. Because I look at a person's like you picture and I say that that's not the girl that I need to be around. That's honestly not the girl that I need to be around. Cause you so innocent. And when innocent people ruin you. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what you're really about. Your pictures scare me. There's no way that I can meet you in person. I would never meet with you in person. Because your pictures scare me. Because you're too innocent. You're not about to ruin my life. I have structure. I have structure in my life. I operate based off of my calendar. Ruin my structure. That's what you do. Ruin my structure. You would ruin my life. I'm not about to let you ruin my life. The only way that I would ever even talk to you is that you would have to promise me that you wouldn't ruin my life. The only way that I would talk to you, Adriana, is that you would have to promise me that you wouldn't ruin my life. If you can promise me that, then I'll let you bring me along. See what I'm saying? ABJ's wise, strong, and smooth. You dealing with a woman just like that. No one is innocent. See, that's why I don't want to meet you. I'm not about to invite you to my meetup. Shit. Let me read the rest of my super chats. Bernie's Road Book Tour says Tiffany had Roland wrapped around her finger. Shout out to Tiffany. You're not about to ruin me. You're not about to have me all wrapped around your finger. Antonio Watkins. Mika, don't act like that. Don't act like that. Mika, Antonio Watkins says, trying to keep my expenses as low as possible. I hesitated about getting YouTube Premium, but it's the only thing I watch now. So now I'm enjoying. Shout out to Antonio Watkins. You've been bullied in the chat. Who been bullying you, Adriana? Why they bullying you? Hey, DM me. DM me, Adriana. I need to understand that a little bit more. 404 Don Drigo says, I'll buy your course for how to talk to women. I ain't got no course. I don't have no course. I will never ever. I don't have no course. You'd never see me sell a course a day in my life. That's just not my life. Listen, y'all are so awesome. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for continuing to rock out with me and tapping into the Millionaire Morning Show on a daily basis. What's up, Keisha? I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all tuning into the Anton Daniels channel tonight? Are y'all tuning into the Anton Daniels channel tonight? All right, so this is what we'll do. If I get enough commitment to the women in here that's going to actually tune into the Anton Daniels channel tonight, then I won't have my barber do my beard different. But if I don't get enough commitment, then you're going to see me different tonight. All right? I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I need y'all to do me one more favor before I get out of here. Make sure you share this with your family and friends. We don't want to be successful by ourselves. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. This is the greatest morning show on earth. I love y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.